Dun, 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 dun. It's Halloween. Dictor Van Doomcock, Dictor Van Doomcock, it's Halloween, it's Halloween, Dictor Van Doomcock, Dictor Van Doomcock. Ooh! Wind up your Halloween Dominions and Doomentites. It's time once again for a Doomcock Halloween, a special edition of Friday Night Frolics on Thursday afternoon. Specifically for all my UK listeners who are viewing Sundown at this moment with trepidation and fright. I am Dictor Van Doomcock, in case you just wandered in here by accident, and we are going to have a little bit of Halloween fun with a Thursday afternoon edition of Friday Night Frolics. That means that in all likelihood, there will not be a Friday Night Frolics tomorrow, although I might do a short one. We'll see. But as for now, I'm doing two Halloween live streams. I am doing this one, this UK edition, and then at 7 o'clock, I am doing a US edition, and we are just going to have some fun. But I want to thank all the usual suspects for showing up right tonight. I want to thank, let's see where we are. Where are we? I have lost track. Okay, so we've got Big Red Bullfrog, Josh and Rebecca Amamani, Michael Keller, A Nutter, Juan Crespo, Eric Fisher, Andy Morley, Sentient Dildo, Maverick MX, Lucy, meow, Red Monarch, Starry-Eyed Girl, Rudyard Olnick, Abby Olace, Caleb P. Walden, Pleasant Valley Picker, C.A., Isildur's Bane, Euler Greg, Mark the Infinitely Tired, Robert Slakes, Jason Howell, Eluvrian, Imikara, Bionic Belly Button, Eric Hawk, The Kelvington, Keck 44, Kim Anderson, Jason Howell, Robert Slakes, Thomas Preston, Fourth Drawer Down, Red Monarch, Hecate's Daughter, What is the Matrix, Surly Unicorn, Fausto Solis, Derek McManus, 4K Omega Ash, Mary Ashmead, our wrench wench extraordinaire, Hail Mary Ashmead, Daniel Krantz RF, Bonzo Kilborn, Pool Kid 75, Daphne Zawadi F, Eric Fisher, Frederick Stapleton, Jay Chimpansky, Enclave Soldier, Tippy Tail McKitty, What is the Matrix, Rayung 74, Michael Keller, Christopher Hatch, Victor D, Hecate's Daughter, Loquacious Primate, Isildur's Bane, Purple Lady, Starry-Eyed Girl, Peter Allen, Chris Blake, Daniel Krantz, Raumo, Gray Wolf, Simon Jensen, I think I said Big Red Bullfrog, but many, many more. In short, the usual suspects, RBTMR, Hale, Loud Toilet, Grand Admiral Thrawn, Multi-Revelator, Andy Morley, and many, many more. You guys are awesome. It is wonderful to have you all here. The usual suspects have gathered. Well, this is going to be a fun and special tribute. Some scary things, some goofy things. Scython Jetter says, I am disappointed by you. I am sorry that you are. Mike Nightingale, Avon Rules. Gee, I've already disappointed and haven't done anything yet. Outstanding. Grand Moff Tarkin, Avon Rules, Finrod Turanian, Joe Jacko, Rhino Sith, Sci-Fi George, and so many more. We are all here today because we love Halloween. And it's scary. And it's spooky. And it's fun. Oh, so you can see like, who is it? The participants, I see. Well, what the hell? Stone Loki, hello. Happy birthday, my friend. Broken Entertainment. Great African Fly Face. Face Fly. Shit, that's weird. It's that kind of a night. Oh. Oh, excuse me. Well, let us now get into some special stuff. I have written just now literally just 30 minutes ago, I decided to write a little song for Halloween, based on a tune that we all know and love, and I think you're going to like it. I hope you will. And it's the first time I've ever sung it since I just wrote it 30 minutes ago. So, your mileage may vary. But to get things to a rousing start, I'm going to go ahead and sing for the first time, What Do We Do with a Trick-or-Treater? Oh, what do we do with a trick-or-treater? What do we do with a trick-or-treater? What do we do with a trick-or-treater shortly after sundown? Way hey on Halloween, oh way hey on Halloween, oh way hey on Halloween, oh shortly after sundown. Lock him in the basement. Damn it. Lock him in the attic with a drunken werewolf. Lock him in the attic with a drunken werewolf. Lock him in the attic with a drunken werewolf shortly after sundown. Way hey on Halloween, oh way hey on Halloween, oh way hey on Halloween, oh shortly after sundown. Give him to the ghosts that wail and wander. Give him to the ghosts that wail and wander. Give him to the ghosts that wail and wander shortly after sundown. Way hey on Halloween, oh way hey on Halloween, oh way hey on Halloween, oh shortly after sundown. Send him for a swim in the Black Lagoon. Send him for a swim in the Black Lagoon. Wonder what the creature there will do shortly after sundown. Way hey on Halloween, oh way hey on Halloween, oh way hey on Halloween, oh shortly after sundown. Put him in the morgue with the restless dead. Oh, put him in the morgue with the restless dead. Oh, put him in the morgue with the restless dead. Oh, shortly after sundown. Way hey on Halloween, oh way hey on Halloween, oh way hey on Halloween, oh shortly after sundown. Bury him alive with a hungry zombie. Bury him alive with a hungry zombie. Bury him alive with a hungry zombie shortly after sundown. Way hey on Halloween, oh way hey on Halloween, oh way hey on Halloween, oh shortly after sundown. That's what we do with a trick-or-treater. That's what we do with a trick-or-treater. That's what we do with a trick-or-treater shortly after sundown. Shortly after sundown. Well, God damn it. Struggled on that first little line, but first time through, no rehearsal. What the fuck? Why not? Feed him to the vampires ringing at the door. Yes, exactly. Euler Greg. My mom thinks I'm watching midget Halloween porn, says Data. Well, hey, in a way, you never know. It's still early, so I can't really say whether or not there will be any of drunken midget porn. I tend to doubt it, as I don't think there are any drunken midgets about, or little people as they are more properly called. However, one never knows, does one? Well, let's go to some of our super chats here. I don't want to keep folks waiting. We've got Psycho Dwarf 9 with a $5 super chat. Hail Psycho Dwarf 9, who says, sigh, it's 22 degrees and the grounds guys have yet to turn off the sprinklers. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Have yourself a frosty little Christmas on October 31st. Oh dear. There's some scary stuff brewing, folks. There's some scary stuff brewing. I can hear the horrible music playing. Oh, that's not much of a Halloween organ, is it? Hail, Psycho Dwarf 9, thank you for that $5 super chat. Eli McInnes with a $4.99 super chat. Hail, Eli says, happy Halloween, Doomcock, and hail to all. Hail, Eli McInnes, and thank you, sir, for being here on this Halloween evening / afternoon, wherever you may be. Josiah Clinch with a $2 super chat. Hail, Josiah, who says, I am what? Thank you. Talk about your new coat. Oh, have I got, did you actually get me that new coat, Josiah Clinch? Did you? Wow. Dude, thank you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I'm flabbergasted, my friend. You, sir, are a generous soul, and Josiah is also. an honorary Legionnaire, but he's going to find out about that once he gets his packet in. Thank you, Josiah Clinch, for the $2 super chat. Aditya Singh with a £5 super chat. Hail Aditya, says, Happy Halloween, Lord. Your Legionnaire stands ready. Thank you, Aditya Singh, one of my newest Legionnaires of Doomcock at patreon.com/Doomcock. Thank you, my friend. Good to see you here on this Halloween. We've got Scott Hudson. Hello, Scott. Hello, Scotty. With a $5 super chat. Hail, Scott Hudson, who says, when Rey assumes the Skywalker moniker, the identity theft, cultural vandalism, and annihilation of Star Wars will be complete. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Because then she will not only be the bestest Jedi ever, she will also be the bestest Skywalker ever. Yes, makes a mockery of the moniker, as it were, Scott Hudson. And if she does that, I hope that fans will riot in the streets, take to the castle Disney with pitchforks and torches, and basically show them that you're not going to have the goddamn fans to push around anymore. Damn it, Scott. Damn it. You said something very scary here today. Hail, Scott Hudson. El Berzadente. Hail, El Berzadente, with a €10 super chat. My friend, you are too kind. And El Berzadente says,
It's Double Doom Donner Stag. Hail Doomcock. Hail Harvey. Hail Harriet. Hail Chat. Halloween should be Harvey Day, given he's a horror and a terror. Well, Harvey is every day is Halloween then, because every day is Harvey. Harvey is threat every day. Harvey hangs over all of us like a sword of Damocles.
I don't like this Damocles thing. That's a real smart-ass thing to say, dude.
Oh, I'm sorry, Harvey. I didn't mean to. I didn't know you were listening.
I'm always listening. I am omnipresent. I am omniscient. I am omnipotent. I am omnifensive.
Omnifensive?
Yes, I offend everybody at one time or another. Hello, happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween, Harvey. You, sir, are awesome. God bless you, my friend. Love you, and I'm just happy to spend Halloween with you.
Happy to spend Halloween with you too, dude.
Maybe later you'll give us a song or something.
It could be. It could be.
Thank you, El Berzadente. Double Doom Donner Stag. Hail to El Berzadente. Josiah Clinch is in the planning stage. Yes, Josiah Clinch and his mother are basically working to help me to have a version of my tunic that I can travel with. So I think that is absolutely fabulous and wonderful, and I'm very grateful. I could never do such a thing. It's just beyond my powers. I am not a seamstress or a seamster or a seam anything. I am just a super villain and have no, shit. How Peter Parker sewed his Spider-Man suit, I have no idea. He must have been a master tailor with all that webbing. Are you kidding me? I just don't know how he could have possibly done it. But anyway, thank you, Josiah. And thank you, El Berzadente.
Harvey Day. Happy Harvey Day. It's the Great Harvey, Charlie Brown. Wouldn't that be a better show? It's the Great Harvey. And Linus is building like a perfect pumpkin patch to invoke Harvey. And Harvey comes and eats Linus's soul, rips his head off, and then moves on to Lucy, kicks her like a goddamn football through the uprights. And then he goes and finds good old Charlie Brown. He eats out his good old Charlie brain and then smashes his head in and kicks him to the curb, smashes old what's his name's piano, Ludwig van Beethoven, whatever his name was. I can't forget. What is it, Schroeder? I don't know. Was it Schroeder? And Pigpen will stink his last day if I get my way. It's the Great Harvey, Charlie Brown. Let's make it happen, shall we?
Yes, I think someone should go ahead and edit It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown and put Harvey in there instead. I think that would be fun. Thank you, Harvey. Eric Hawk. with a $2 super chat. Hail Eric, who says, Happy Halloween to all the European Xanadu folk. Hail Eric Hawk on Halloween. Yes, European Xanadu folk, this one's for you, wherever you are. And I hope that your darkness is fallen over your humble abodes at this time. The chill is creeping in, and you're starting to fear the things that wander your streets at night. Europe has a rich tradition of ghosts and ghouls and creeps that come out on October 31st, this very night. Who knows what will be waiting outside when you get that knock at the door? Rosetta Allen with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Rosetta, very much. She says, can't move from back injury, but you make it better. Oh, poor Rosetta. I'm so sorry. I hope that you're just resting and it's just going to take you a while. But I really hope that you get much better, Rosetta Allen, and I hope that you get better soon. And I will try not to scare you too horribly tonight with my Halloween stories. I've got some true scary Halloween stories to share with you later. And I'm going to go ahead as per a request and read The Raven. I do that every year, and I have had a request to do that, and that's what I'm going to do later on in this broadcast. Thank you, Rosetta Allen. Aditya Singh with a 10-pound super chat. Hail Aditya again, who says, Overlord DVD, I pledge my cursed scimitar to thee and thine. Thank you, Aditya Singh. I could definitely use your cursed scimitar. I've got a lot of cursed people that need to be smitten with a cursed scimitar. A cursed Kathleen Kennedy, cursed Ruin Roundhead, cursed Jar Jar Abrams, a cursed scimitar might banish them back to their hellish dimensions of cinematic destruction. It's possible. It's possible. One can only hope. Hope and dream and pray. Thank you, Aditya Singh. With an ally such as you, my friend, how can I go astray? Tippy Tail McKitty with a $2 super chat. Hail Tippy Tail McKitty, who looks like my beloved Lola. And Tippy Tail McKitty says, Hail Overlord Doomcock and Harvey.
And it should be Hail to Harvey and Overlord Doomcock. Not the verse. I mean, you're getting the star confused. Harvey is the star, and Overlord Dictor Van Doomcock, he's the sidekick.
No. I'm basically the Larry Sanders, and you are Hank. You're Hank Kingsley.
Hey now, you're screwed.
No, you are, dude. I'm Larry Sanders.
Do these pants make my ass look fat? Hey now, that's all I know what to do with Hank.
Well, that's all he ever did, really. Thank you, Tippy Tail McKitty. Bionic Belly Button with a $5 super chat. Hail, Bionic Belly Button. He says, hail to the Doomcock world premiere. I think she's got umlauts over the O. Doomcock world premiere. It was fantastic. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. Bionic Belly Button. The Rookie Critic with a $2 super chat. Hail, Rookie Critic, who says, Happy Halloween, 67,000 subs. The Legion expands. It's really weird, guys. I don't know what the hell YouTube did to my subscriptions. They took away, this is the weird part, okay? They took away 500 subs, okay? And right now, the most current number that I have on my actually, even with the 500, it is 67. Well, I I didn't know. Thank you. I did not know. You broke the news. I thought that I was, well, thank you. Thank you very much, the Rookie Critic, who broke the news to me that I had hit 67,000 subs. All right, Rookie Critic, thank you. The crowd goes wild. That is fantastic. Well, that makes up a little bit for the Astros losing last night so pathetically. Jesus Christ. That was a heartbreaker. That was a heartbreaker for sure. But what the hell? There's always next year, right? Yeah, there's always a next year, and I guess we'll. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. Let's move on, shall we? All right. Oh, the goddamn Nazis. They're mowing the goddamn lawn next door during my live stream. Fucking idiots. Stumm. Assholes. God damn it. Pisses me off. Hail the rookie critic. David Morris with a £5 super chat. Hail David Morris, who says, take it from an Englishman from Portsmouth. You know that city with the oldest dry dock in the world. You sing ye old naval songs perfect. Thank you, David Morris. Of course, that was not an old naval song. That there was a trick-or-treat song. Oh, what do we do with a trick-or-treater? What do we do with a trick-or-treater? What do we do with a trick-or-treater shortly after sundown? I really like that. I was happy I wrote that. For fuck's sake, you goddamn asshole. Move away from my base. You're not even supposed to be mowing close to my base, you idiot. Goddamn asshole. No fucking morons just parked there. It pisses me off. Idiot. And the Kelvington with a $5 super chat. Hail to my Legionnaire, the Kelvington, who says, happy Halloween. Them bones, them dry bones, them bones, dry bones, them bones, dry bones. I hear the word of the Lord. Thank you, the Kelvington. R with a $1.99 super chat. Hail RR, who says, happy Halloween to all the Rogues Gallery. Yes, RR. Thank you for that super chat, and happy Halloween to all the usual suspects. Well, I think it's maybe time for me to have a drink. I poured myself 2 fingers. That's more like 1.5 fingers of Elijah Craig small batch, Elijah Craig small batch bourbon. I'm going to take a drink of it right now. Heavens to Betsy, that's good. Well, let's see. I think I will go ahead and read Edgar Allan Poe's classic poem, The Raven, for you all. And I hope that I do a good job, so by the end of it, you will all be raving about it. But seriously, folks, I don't mean to go ahead and make bad puns on Halloween. I want to go ahead and give you guys a beak from all the bad humor. Yeah, right. Yeah, you'll be raving about it, even though I haven't rehearsed it, and I'm just going to go ahead and now, I don't know, wing it. All right. Obviously, I got some sound effects, and I'm screwing around with them on Halloween because that's what one does on Halloween. One screws around. But now it's time to get serious. And I'm going to read perhaps the most famous macabre poem of all, The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. "Only this, and nothing more." Ah, distinctly I remember, it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. Some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This it is, and nothing more." Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, "or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping, tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door. Darkness there, and nothing more." Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, "Lenore." This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, "Lenore." Merely this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard a tapping somewhat louder than before. "Surely," said I, "surely there is something at my window lattice. Let me see then what thereat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, and nothing more." Open here I flung the shutter, when, with many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but, with mien of lord or lady, perched above my chamber door. Perched upon a bust of Pallas just above my chamber door. Perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird, beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore. "Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, thou," I said, "art sure no craven, ghastly grim and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore." Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." Much I marveled this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such name as Nevermore. But the raven, sitting lonely on the path, fast spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing farther than he uttered, not a feather than he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, "Other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before." Then the bird said, "Nevermore." Startled at the stillness broken by reply so aptly spoken, "Doubtless," said I, "what it utters is its only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master, whom unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his songs one burden bore, till the dirges of his hope that melancholy burden bore, of never, nevermore." But the raven, still beguiling all my fancy into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking, "Nevermore." This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing, to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamplight gloated o'er, but whose velvet violet lining with the lamplight gloating o'er she shall press, nevermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer, swung by seraphim whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. "Wretch!" I cried. Thy God hath lent thee. By these angels he hath sent thee. Respite and nepenthe from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff this kind nepenthe, and forget this lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, whether tempter sent or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet all undaunted on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me, truly I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, by that heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden, if within the distant Aidenn it shall clasp a sainted maiden whom the angels name Lenore, clasp a rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Be that our word or sign of parting, bird or freed, I shrieked upstarting. Get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken, quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart and take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, and his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming throws his shadow on the floor, and my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore. Well, is there balm in Gilead? Is there balm in Gilead? Could there be any chance that in the life beyond there is peace? I guess we shall see what we shall see, for we will all see what lies beyond this mortal veil eventually, but hopefully not tonight. Thank you, Purple Lady. Heiress of Chaos. Thank you. Abby Olays, JG, D. Lunar Fox, Clip, Lori Roberts, Spike in Madness, Fourth Drawer Down, Surly Unicorn, Bionic Belly Button, Mary Ashby. Thank you all so very, very, very much. Broken Entertainment. I don't really have time to do audiobooks for people. I mean, they would have to basically, pay for my time, and, reading an actual full book would take a lot of my time. So it would be probably expensive. However, I have thought about recording a volume of, Poe or Lovecraft, and kind of selling that somewhere. Hail, Cardboard Kenny! Welcome, Cardboard Kenny. Can you do Jabberwock? I don't know. I don't know if Jabberwock is public domain or not. Is it? I could maybe do Jabberwock if it's public domain, but I don't know. Oh, 1971. The Jabberwock. Yes. I guess I probably could. I'll do that a little later. How's that sound? All right. I think I earned myself another drink, putting up with trying to do the Raven while some asshole Nazi is mowing his goddamn lawn right outside. It just drives me fucking insane. But what can I do? Hail to all of you. Thank you for putting up with me. I'm having fun. I hope you guys are too. I'm going to take a drink. Cheers. Well, man, that's good stuff. Let's go back to our super chats here for a minute. Qui-Gon Jinn with a $10 super chat. Hail! Qui-Gon Jinn, one of my favorite Jedi of all time, and one of the very best things about the Phantom Menace. I actually can enjoy watching the Phantom Menace because of Qui-Gon Jinn. I think that he is fantastic. I also love Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan. I think he does a fantastic job with that. And Darth Maul and the lightsaber fight between all three of them, best lightsaber fight in history. So, I have a lot of love for the Phantom Menace. Yes, it's outstanding. Anyway, Qui-Gon Jinn with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Qui-Gon Jinn, says, Doomcock, my friend. No matter how crappy Disney Star Wars gets, take solace in knowing Kathleen Kennedy, Jar Jar Abrams, and Rian Johnson will not return as Force ghosts when they die. Good. Qui-Gon Jinn, you're not going to teach them, right? You're just not going to teach them how to come back from their goddamn, oblivion as Force ghosts once they hit the celestial choir. Oh dear, oh dear. Once they're strumming harps up there, they ain't coming back again no more. Damn right they're not. All right, thank you, Qui-Gon Jinn. Criminal imagination. There is no vile I know that compares with criminal imagination. With a $20 Canadian super chat. Hail, criminal imagination. Who says, journalists bragging about Rey. No, Rey is the most powerful Jedi. Her force powers are off the charts. She can fly a ship better than Han, and she has super ultra invincible armor that lightsabers can't cut through. Yeah, no shit, dummies. That's why we hate her. You morons. That's exactly why we hate her, because she's the amazing Wonder Rey and didn't earn it. Didn't earn it. She started out the bestest and she'll end the bestest, and she'll be a Skywalker too. She may even be Shmi Skywalker and give birth to the whole Skywalker clan. Now, how would that be, eh? Yeah, time travel. It's not just a shill, it's an indenture. Hail, criminal imagination. Echoes of the ancients, with a $10 super chat. Hail, echoes of the ancients. Says, greetings, my liege. Happy Halloween. Hugs to Harvey. Thank you, echoes of the ancient.
Thank you, echoes of the ancient. Echoes, give me your answer due. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage. I can't afford a carriage, but you'll look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle built for two. I will drive it over the cliff for you. Too bad you don't have wings just like I do. While you fall to your death, I'll flutter above and laugh. You looked sweet upon the seat of a bicycle built for two.
Wow, Harvey, did you write that out?
No, I just made it up. And that accounts for some of the assonance.
Oh yes, the assonance, which is of course getting the rhyme wrong.
Kind of wrong. You kind of mumble it and mold it around and, you BS it a little bit, dude.
Well, I know about BSing. That's very, very true. Yeah, I know. Harvey, all of Harvey's songs always end up with him destroying things, killing people, or otherwise committing atrocities. I don't know. I don't know why. Quentin Watts, hello, says the only way JJ can save himself is if he releases a special cut version that fixes everything and trashes Disney. What does he have to lose? He doesn't have enough soul to do that, dude. Doesn't have enough soul to do that. It's not going to happen. Harvey, old smoothie, says Jay Chimpansky. Exactly. Sardonic Sunshine. Is that Donald Fagen singing?
It could be.
Cancer from Uranus. Harvey singing my stoned ass to sleep. Hail, sir. I'm glad that you have that. Mr. J steps up. Excuse me. What would an elder god need with a two-person bicycle?
The better to kill you with. Yay, the girls love it. And I drive them off cliffs and then I devour them.
You smoothie.
I know, I really am.
Thank you, Echoes of the Ancients. And don't take Harvey's evil song personally. He's just he's just a bad guy.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
That's right. Thank you, Echoes of the Ancients. Hiroshi Scorer with a 50 Mexican peso super chat. Thank you, Hiroshi Scorer, who says, "Hail, my liege. Hail, Harvey." Quick question for Harvey. What is your favorite anime villain or monster of mass destruction?
That would be Mecha Godzilla. I really love Mecha Godzilla. But I also love the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. It's just he never got enough of a chance to really wreak havoc the way he could have. You know, those joy-killing, soul-sucking Ghostbusters, worthless bastards. It breaks my heart.
It breaks my heart too, Harvey. But yeah, I agree. I think Mechagodzilla is my favorite giant monster robot of all time. And I mean, anybody that can shoot missiles from their fingers is a badass.
I agree, dude. We agree on that.
We really do. Hail, Hiroshi Scorer. And thank you, my friend, for the super chats and for being here. Paul Wilkinson with a £4.99 super chat. Hail, Paul Wilkinson. And my Legionnaire says, "Hail, Doomcock. Thank you for the early frolics for us fans in the UK." Of course. And seeing as this is the UK edition, I will just say unto you, where am I? In the village. What do you want? Information. Whose side are you on? That would be telling. We want information. 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 You won't get it? By hook or by crook, we will. Who are you? The new number 2. Who is number 1? You are number 6. I am not a number. I am a free man. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Rise and shine. It's Halloween. It's Halloween in the UK, and I hope you guys are enjoying this afternoon edition of the Friday Night Frolics UK edition for Halloween. Big Red Bullfrog, a Legionnaire of mine with a €5 super chat. Hail, Big Red Bullfrog, who says, "Hail, chat and DVD on Halloween. Thank you, Lord, for our convo this week. Any chance for you reading a Telltale Heart? My friend is asking." A telltale heart. Well, I think it's a little too long to read today. I already did The Raven, but I might read it tonight. We'll see. We'll see. I might go ahead and read that sucker tonight. Okay. Because, you know, I've got a lot of stuff, to do here. Now I've got a true life horror story here. I'm just going to say it's from James. I'm not going to give the rest of his name. Just from James, who sent me this story called "True Paranormal Story, the Most Horrifying Time of My Young Adult Life. No BS." So I'll just read it as he wrote it. This was some years ago when I was a 19-year-old in college. I had my own place and I spent most of my time hanging out with friends, the girlfriend, or at class. This time around, none of the above were available, so I ended up playing video games, Hawks 2, as I recall. I was replaying the same level I had played 1,000 times over again. I was quite entangled in the video game when an empty can of Monster Energy drink hit me in the chest and pulled me out of my gaming experience. This was the first event that I can recall that could be linked to the horrors to come. I thought to myself that the wind outside was blowing hard and the can was placed for the last day or so by the window of my room and had to have blown from the window to where I currently sat in front of my PC. I stood up to shut the window, but to my surprise, it wasn't closed. I brushed off the situation, not thinking much of it at the time. Around the same time, I recall a peculiar creaking sound. coming from the corner of my closet began to appear, which I also found quite strange since I had lived in the place for months and heard no such noise before. I shrugged this off as some sort of architectural flaw or something to do with the age of the building, but nonetheless, this noise became a constant occurrence, which always got my attention, but once again, didn't think much of it. A few days with the new creak plaguing my room, I had my girlfriend over and we were wasting time watching the movie Scream when we decided to take things to the room for some boyfriend-girlfriend time. Now, this was by far the hottest woman I have ever dated, and the reason she was single was because she had some quirks. Well, I had a few too, so I stepped into the arena and bagged myself a prize some months prior. Little did I know at the time, though, that one of these quirks was that she claimed to have a sixth sense. She had a few stories of how she could interact with the dead or sense when they were around, and it just so happens that as we laid in each other's arms, the creak at the top of the closet filled the room. That had caught her attention and totally killed the mood. My girlfriend warned me that there was something in the room with us, and that whatever it was evil. My mind raced back a couple days, and I thought of the can flying off the window and hitting my chest, and I thought that at the time it was best to hold that information from her because, once again, she was hot, I was not, and we were in bed. Little did I know, though, how correct she was, and what had come in the following weeks would forever change my life. Now, some time would pass with little more than a creak happening every now and then, but at this time I had ditched the girlfriend and spent most of my time by myself just in time for the you-know-what to hit the fan. I was once again in front of my PC playing the same game, Hawks 2. And as I did so, I sat with my door open and my mind immersed. That was until I felt a strange sensation begin to come over me. It's hard to explain, but it felt like someone was staring at me from down the hall of my room. At this time, all the action of the game was in front of me, and even my headphones on blasting full volume into my now tinnitus-plagued ears, but whatever had demanded my attention had gotten it. At first, felt as if someone were looking at me, but as I took off my headphones and paused the game, something within me said to stand up and close the door to my room, but a wave of fear soon overcame all thought, and for some unearthly reason I was petrified with fear, as what stood before me did not only stare back, but this entity of some kind moved down the hall and entered my room, filling the air with a heavy sensation, and an uncontrollable fear overcame my body and forced me out of my seat and to my knees, along with an unknown weight that pressed down upon my body. I felt a sensation as if something unseen was trying to penetrate an invisible force that surrounded my body, as thoughts of something whispering in the back of my mind said, "Let me in." I had never considered myself a religious person, but I, as a young man of Mexican heritage, had always had a deep sense of Christianity and tradition in my family. If nothing else, it was something I was exposed to on the holidays. Considering all things, where I was and what was happening to me, I decided to pray. It seemed to be the thing to do at the time. I had prayed to God to rescue me from this, and to my surprise, after several minutes of being attacked by something I could not see, it was as if my prayers were answered. Whatever was happening stopped happening, and the air in the room became less dense, and I felt as if I could breathe again, as if I had come up from underwater to take a deep breath of fresh air. At that time, I thought the worst was behind me, that I could continue with my life, that what had happened in that room was something that I could keep to myself, and for the longest time, I did. What a fool I was, though, thinking that this was the last of all. Some time would pass without further incident. I wrote it off as a freak experience, and that was it. I soon moved out of that place and moved in with some roommates. In the back of my mind, I was more than happy to be done with where I was, but the first day I moved in, I had not finished unpacking when I heard a similar creaking noise coming from the corner of the closet, just like before. Once again, I wrote this off as a similar architectural problem and continued on with my day. Everything was fine, and I was getting along well with my new roommates for a good month or so, all with the creak in the corner as a constant reminder of something that was not in the past, but I was wrong. One day I was sitting once again in front of my PC working on an important school project when I felt a similar feeling, the feeling that I was being watched, but this time it was different. This time it was hostile. I felt like I was at the feet of a giant predator, looking to devour me. The sensation drifted from the closet of my room and placed itself right in front of me. I didn't know what to do or think, and the fear I felt was tenfold what I had felt before. This aura surrounded me and terrorized me until I forced myself to go to sleep, where I thought I would be safe far away from here, drifting to dreamland until the safety of the sun would dawn a new day. Yet as I slept, I awoke in my room in the middle of the night, and I saw my door creak open to pure blackness on the other side. I saw a monstrous creature enter, and as it did, I closed my eyes and tried to move, but my body was stiff and paralyzed as this monster wrapped its arms around my legs and dragged me out of my room and into the pitch black. I tried to yell, to call for my roommates, but my voice was a whisper. No matter how long I could muster up my voice, nearly nothing would come out, and my fate seemed sealed as I was dragged into nothing until I opened my eyes and realized I was dreaming. I was awake in my room and safe. It was a cold night. I was covered in sweat, and I threw the blankets off of my wet body, only to be filled with the chilling sensation of the cold night's air pressed upon my sweat-covered body. I made my way to the restroom and dried myself off as best I could as my heart pounded out of my chest. It was around 3 a.m. when I had awoken, and I knew I had to go back to bed. So after some time alone in the restroom, I went back to my room and laid down, but almost as soon as I did, I felt that aura return, that evil, hostile, predatory feeling hover by the side of my bed as I returned to shutting my eyes and praying for sleep, only to return to the same dream again and again and again. Do you know what it's like having the same vivid dream where you wake in the same position you fell asleep in over and over? You can't tell if you're awake anymore or in a dream until the horror starts showing up and you pray it's just a dream. I would love to say this was a freak occurrence number 2, and that was the end of it. Unfortunately, I can't. When the sun eventually rose, I had to drag my tired body out of bed after what I had experienced. It was interesting the next day. The events of the night before would not leave me, but I was expected to go about my day as usual, and I did so not knowing what to do or who to tell, or even if there was anyone to talk to about this. Like clockwork, when the sun went down, the darkness came to life. I suffered for God knows how long at the hands of this entity. I could not tell you if it was a month or a year. Every single night was near identical and all suffering. I remember looking out every day as the sun would set and feeling as if a new life of a tormented slave would begin as the sun would set. It would begin with the familiar creak that would at times be more of a thump, as if someone on the roof had jumped and landed directly in the corner of my closet. It would happen during the day as well, a way for this thing to let me know it was there. But it only got worse than that at night. That's when it would leave the closet and the aura of absolute darkness would strike fear in me. I could only explain it as if I were at the mercy of a hungry lion that stalked circles around me but could devour me at any time. That was until I would eventually fall asleep, and I would be plagued by terrible and grotesque nightmares of gore and horror that would leave me waking in the middle of the night, always covered in sweat. Every morning felt like I had survived another night, as if I had to battle to stay alive, and all of it I kept to myself, not knowing what to do. After weeks of research, I had come across many things that the internet had to provide of the spiritual and the supernatural in a plethora of cultures and cases spanning back decades, but little of it did any help short of one thing that may seem cheesy, but this is the truth. I am not lying to you when I say the only thing out of hours of research to help was a Bible. I remember praying before and that actually producing some results. So after hours of research, I thought I had nothing to lose, and in a lot of ways, I really didn't. Night after night, I would read one verse after the other when the darkness would appear, and to my surprise, night after night, its presence became less and less. As I first read these scriptures, it was like there was an unknown power shift between me and this entity, as if there were an untapped authority within me of some kind, but either I was just happy to slowly return to my normal nights, but for weeks after, I still feared the dark. I feared my dreams, and my peace that I didn't know could be ripped away from me so easily. Since then, I became more in touch with my spiritual side and have remained weary of the dark forces that we ourselves cannot see. And there we have a little bit of a allegedly true account of an alleged real life horror. So I cannot vouch for it. I say, along with the Doctor Who rumor that I recently reported, take that as a rumor. Well, allies will come to you in the dream realm, says D. Lunar Fox. Cancer says George Lucas's guilty conscience after selling Star Wars to Disney. Craig Murray, I wonder how many girls are dressing up as Dr. Jodie Whittaker or Ray. Two scary monsters destroying a lifetime of work. They are. They're destroyers of the universes, aren't they? Let's see. D, it has a lot to do with dreams for sure, says Peter Allen. It's Jar Jar in white sheet with knife in the billiard room, says Sentient Dildo. Indeed. Indeed it is. Mary Ashmead says, I've had some experiences before. I had some crazy stuff happen before. Interesting. Very interesting. Nobody's safe on Halloween, says Euler Greg. However, Giant African Face Fly says, Ray Parker Jr. ain't afraid of no ghost. Hail Simon Wilde. We in the UK very much appreciate your special broadcast for us in Limeyland. In Limeyland, there's a one-man band and he'll toot his flute for you. Come fly with me, let's take off in the blue. Hail Simon Wilde. You are very welcome. I'm delighted to be able to have this Halloween live stream with all of you guys. I hope you all are having fun. Let's go here to the super chats again. Tyron Beard with a $2 Australian super chat. Hail my Legionnaire Tyron Beard, who says, scary equals soy drinking Luke Force ghost. Love you, bro. Love you, Tyron Beard. Hail to my Australian friend. Cheers, mate. Hope you're having fun on this Halloween. You all have Halloween in Australia? I imagine it's cool but warm, eh? Cheers, mate. Hail Tyron Beard. And also Big Red Bullfrog, who I believe is also Australian. No, French. Is living in France, I believe. Abby Olace, one of Doomcock's darlings and my Legionnaire with a $50 super chat. Abby Olace, you are too kind, my dear. Thank you very, very much for that support. And Abby Olace says, candy for the helmet. Toss some in the containment field for Harvey. Kisses, my lord. Kisses to Harvey.
Kisses to Abby Olace. Thank you, my dear. I appreciate the candy. It's kind of nice, isn't it? On Halloween, what a racket. You just say, just kind of go out and say, hey, give me some candy. And they do. It's magic.
Yes, it's magic. Hail, Abby Olace. You are wonderful, my dear. And your drummer continues to astound. I don't even recognize you when you are drummer. I think that you are just doing an amazing job with that. And I just congratulate you. I cannot imagine how you go about that transformation. It makes me want to say,
Falcon Punch!
Falcon Punch! That's right. You are Falcon Punch worthy, Abby Olace. Thank you, Abby Olace. Breaker or Brockir. Could be Breaker or Brockir with a $5 super chat. Hail Brockir, who says new Star Wars sucks. Even if they were original movies that didn't defile Star Wars, they would still suck. Also, drink Lagavulin 16. Lagavulin 16. I've never heard of Lagavulin 16. But I sure would probably like it. I do like my scotch. There's no doubt about it. I do like my scotch. Thank you very, very much, Brakir. And again, Abby Olace. Thank you very, very much. That was a hell of a super chat, Abby. Jess Reed with a $2 super chat. Hail Legionnaire Jess. No, thank you, Abby Olace. Harvey, we love you, says Mary Ashmead.
Love you too, Mary. Everyone knows it's Mary. And Mary has stormy eyes.
All right, enough, Harvey. You can't do that. Jess Reed says, song request from my wife, Beyond the Sea. Well, sadly, Beyond the Sea, hello, Piano Dean. Beyond the Sea is not public domain. Therefore, I could only do the tiniest little snippet. Somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me, my lover stands on golden sands and watches the ships that go sailing. Hail, Jess Reed, and hail to your lovely wife. And thank you for your support at patreon.com/doomcock and for the $2 super chat. Criminal Imagination again with a $5 Canadian super chat. Hail, Criminal Imagination, who says, I make it a yearly tradition to listen to a power metal song called Halloween by a band named Halloween. It's 12 minutes of madness and 80s cheese. Well, shoot, that's the best kind, man. I love that. 80s madness and cheese. That's kind of perfect, really, when you get right down to it. I'm Googling the band here. Halloween with Halloween. All right, I will check that out. 12 minutes. It's like the Inagata Davida of Halloween. Not bad, not bad. Thank you, Criminal Imagination. Mary Ashmead with a $5 super chat. Hail Mary, who says, thank you, Doomcock. I'm so glad to be here again, moderating for you again this year. You are the best. Love your reading of Edgar Allan Poe. Thank you, Mary Ashmead. I appreciate that. I wish I had delayed a little longer. If I'd have known those damn Germans next door were going to be mowing their lawn, it would have, I would have delayed. Broke my concentration just the merest bit. It would have been that much better if they had just not mowed their damn lawn while I was doing this. Very annoying. Thank you, Mary Ashmead. And guys, send a little love Mary's way. Type some M's in the chat if you are appreciating her hard work moderating this live stream and making sure that our chat remains a friendly and welcoming place for all. I'm going to take another drink here of water. And then I think I'll take a drink of bourbon as well. That is nice. That is nice. Somebody wanted a Hank Hill Halloween promotion. Hello there. My name is Hank Hill, and I work at Strickland Propane, the best little place on earth, selling propane and propane accessories. I know it's Halloween, and a lot of you guys are going to be grilling pumpkins. So you don't want to grill pumpkins on that bastard fuel coal. You want to grill pumpkins the good old-fashioned American way on a grill powered by the pure blue flame of propane. So come on down to Strickland Propane and tell them that Hank sent you, and we'll set you up with a little discount, your first propane kit, and you get a complimentary a beer cozy that has Strickland Propane on it. So come on down. You can't go wrong. And mow your lawn, dadgummit. Be a man. Back to you, Chet. Thank you. Thank you, Hank. Thank you, Mary Ashmead. Cardboard Kenny with a $10 super chat. Hail, my friend Cardboard Kenny. Thank you, my friend. You pop up into my life, and all of a sudden, once again, you are showering me with money and support. Cardboard Kenny, one of my earliest Legionnaires and dear friends. It is so good to see you here. He says, more Lovecraft and happy Halloween, everybody. Unfortunately, most Lovecraft is quite long, so it's kind of hard to read a full Lovecraft story, Cardboard Kenny, but maybe people in the chat can recommend something short to read. But I hope you saw Cardboard Kenny. I did Halloween in a suburb over on the Harvey Zone, and popped that up today for Narutaki-kun, who had commissioned the piece. So thank Narutaki-kun if you enjoyed it, and if you did not enjoy it, blame him. Blame him. Thank you, Cardboard Kenny. I tell you what, brother, I will do some more Lovecraft just for you over at patreon.com/doomcock. Okay. Thank you, my friend. And if anyone in the chat has any recommendations for a short Lovecraftian thing that I can read, I'd be happy to do it. Diver with a €2 super chat. Thank you, Diver. Says, thank you, sir, for this performance. You are very, very welcome, Diver. Thank you for showing up. You know, thank you for spending your Halloween with me. Oh yeah, indeed. It is quite an honor, and I'm just very, very, very proud to have you join me on this scary night when the wolves are out. Listen to them, the children of the night. What music they make. That was kind of cool.
Welcome, Punch!
Falcone Punch. I love that. I love that. That's one of my new favorite things. Falcone Punch. I don't know what the that is, but I tell you, I love that out of that. All right. Let's go to Bird O' Prey 5. Kapla, my friend, with a $2 super chat. Hail, Bird O' Prey 5, who says, Happy Halloween, Doomcock and Harvey. Happy Halloween, Bird O' Prey 5. Thank you, my friend, for being here. I appreciate that very, very much. Oh my God, Cardboard Kenny, what the hell, dude? Wow, dude, this is Jesus, $100 super chat from Cardboard Kenny. Cardboard Kenny, dude, you didn't have to do that. Thank you. I am blown away. I am absolutely blown away, Cardboard Kenny. Love you, brother. Wow. Well, that's like, this is 1 year I'm not just getting a rock in my trick-or-treat bag. Thank you, Cardboard Kenny. And he says, have a drink on me, and you know where to send my Call of Cthulhu audiobook. Want me to read Well, I tell you what, you just commissioned me to read Call of Cthulhu for you, Cardboard Kenny. That definitely covers it. So I will get on that. I'm going to write this down here. And yes, Call of Cthulhu for Cardboard Kenny. Thank you so much, Cardboard Kenny. That is incredibly generous of you. You are helping keep my family of giant robots fed for at least a week. Thank you, Cardboard Kenny. Wow, that's amazing. Josiah Clinch with a $5 super chat. Hail, my legionnaire and friend Josiah Clinch, who says, hail to Countess and young Count Sweetula from Edgemount, South Dakota. Good hunting tonight. No candy is safe tonight. We're going to get our candy tonight. That's right, Josiah Clinch. And thank you, my friend. I think that this is warning. No candy is safe tonight. Damn right. Digi Akuma with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Digi Akuma, who says, indeed, Stig Kenobi and John Talks. It jumped on me. Sorry about that. Stig Kenobi and John Talks confirmed what I learned from the plot leak video posted by Star Wars Coffee. I wish that was just a scary story. So it's going to be the rise of Skywalker, and she's going to take the name Skywalker, which is really kind of the fall of Skywalker when you really think about it, as it's falling into crap. Well, it already has fallen into crap, and this is just confirming the crap. Hail Digi Akuma. Yeah, she's going to take the name. Call me Skywalker. My name is Ray Skywalker. Down. Yeah, it's just fucking, oh, it just makes me sick. It just fucking makes me sick. Yeah, I know, sweetie. I'm sorry. I know you're upset. It's just awful. All right, enough. Will you shut up? Will you shut the... All right. Damn kid. Who left a kid on my door? That's not good. I tell you what, I will set that self-destruct if I get any more kids left on the doorstep. Oh, well, feed him to the wolves. Thank you. My minion, will you take him and feed him to the wolves? Y'all are welcome. No, don't thank me. It's Halloween. Trick or treat. All right. Michelle P. with a $1.99 super chat. My Legionnaire and Doomcock darling, Michelle P. Thank you, my dear. It says, hail Doomcock and Harvey. Happy Halloween, chat. Happy Halloween, Michelle P. I'm so glad that you guys are here joining me today. I'm not sure. I've got a couple of things to Ray Appleseed. That's right. I'm Shawnee Appleseed. I don't know if you remember me from last week, but I'm Shawnee Appleseed. It's like Johnny Appleseed. I'm walking the earth, spreading my apple seeds all over the universe, except, of course, it's not apples. It's sperm. Shawnee Appleseed. It's disturbing. It's disturbing. That was one of my most disturbing bits. Sully Jews says, I must be the only one who couldn't give a toss about Halloween. I guess so. It's odd. I think it's a little odd that you don't care about Halloween. I mean, it is a Halloween, show, but to each his own, I guess. And I don't want to make anybody have to like Halloween. So, it's perfectly fine. Let's see. Let's go to, Michael Allen. Michael Allen, hello, with a $5 super chat. Hail, Michael Allen says, Harvey, what sounds better? Castration of STD riders or feeding Jar Jar Abrams beans and lighting his farts in a room full of hydrogen?
I think the latter. If you could get Jar Jar to eat beans, boy, oh boy, he'd go up like a rocket.
Yes, he would. Thank you, Michael Allen. Yeah. Go Steelers. I like the Steelers. A good team. Good traditional team. Jared Weaver with a $5 super chat. Hail Jared, says Doomcock, great live stream. At some point, you and EVS need to do a live stream jam session. Y'all have the best parody music sense. Weird Al. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. Boy, have I got some great parody pieces I really like, but most of them I can't actually sing. They're too messed up. They're too shall we say yours, but this is my first time catching you live. Thanks for everything you do. Thank you, Half Moon. Very, very much appreciated, my friend. And I'm glad you were able to do that. I mean, that's why I'm doing it at this time, to give folks who have never had a chance to participate in one of my live streams, join in, and especially on Halloween, especially on Halloween. Well, so anyway, I'm just having a great time, and let me go to another story. We've got some true stories. I won't say again from whom, but I will say that this is a nurse whose name is Sandra. Okay. Sandra sent me this. She said, We were just listening to the rest of the Friday Night Frolics, and I remembered some true scary stories from a couple hospitals I worked at. Feel free to reword the stories to flow better if you decide to use them. No, they flow just fine. So Sandra tells me, my first nursing job was on an open heart step-down unit. A couple of years before I started, there was a man from India in one of the rooms at the end of the hall. He was dying and wanted the window open so his spirit could leave. Of course, the windows were sealed. By the time maintenance got there to open the window, he had died. Every time we put a patient in that room, they swore they saw a man walking by the window, turning to stare at them, and then just disappear on the 5th floor with no outside structures. Many also saw what they called demons coming out of the picture at them from across the room. Even when we changed pictures, demons would come out. These things all happened on random nights at the same time the Indian man died. Eventually, we stopped putting patients in there and used it as a storage room. Sometimes we would hear something crash and things would be knocked over or moved when we went to see what the noise was. Yes, I have heard a lot of scary stories from nurses in hospitals. In fact, there used to be a board that had a lot of really scary hospital stories that were posted on them. And I think I'm going to go ahead and try to find that board again and share some of those stories on the U.S. edition of the Friday Night Frolics Thursday Halloween show tonight at 7. So tonight at 7, it's going to be a different show, folks. So you may want to join that one if you're still up and still hungry for a little bit of Halloween fun. She also wrote, the last facility I worked at had a floor that had been used to house infectious terminal patients and those with TB. A nurse in purple scrubs was seen sometimes walking the hall, just to disappear into a wall. Patients who are dying see one of 2 apparitions in addition to the nurse. Some saw a little boy bouncing a ball. He would look at them and ask for a scooter. In life, he was on that floor for a long time. He was promised a scooter and died before he got it. Death usually followed in a couple days and was peaceful. Others saw a tall man in a black coat and hat standing at the foot of their bed. He never said anything, but would walk through the wall when noticed. He was usually seen a couple times, and the death was usually more difficult. At that same facility, the security cameras would pick up a nurse in white walking up to the staff entrance. When she got to the locked door, she just disappeared. There was a camera inside the entry, and it never picked her up. There are more things in heaven and hell that are dreamt of in your philosophy, Horatio. So there you go. There you go. Michael Keller says, what does tonight at 7 read in UTC, Greenwich Mean Time? I don't know, but I think that the UK is basically like 6 hours ahead. So 7 o'clock Central Time would be, I assume, 1 o'clock in the morning for UK time or European time. I know there's many time zones in Europe. I'm sorry. I'm a supervillain. I'm not a time calculator, so I don't know. But listen, you guys, if any of you have good horror stories, true life horror stories, or things that happen to you, could be ghosts, could be aliens, cryptids, whatever you like. If you'd like to send them to me, and I will read them tonight on the US edition, send them to dictorvandoomcock@gmail.com. And I will be delighted to read them tonight if they are appropriate. And UK is 7 hours ahead of New York, says Atomic Half-Lives Matter. Well, that makes absolute sense. Mira J says it's 5:30 a.m. here. I've been up for a while and was supposed to be art streaming for Halloween, but the power went out for a while and I don't want to lose work if it goes off again. Well, I'm glad to have you here, Mira J. Welcome to all my Australian friends, 5:30 a.m. Wow. Oh, England is 5 hours ahead of Central Standard Time now. They had a time change. God, I hate time changes. That is so annoying. I'm sorry to hear that. I will send you a few Doomcocks, says Mary Ashmead. Absolutely. Oh, I'd welcome that very much. Thank you, Mary. All right. Do aliens become ghosts? I don't know. D. Lunar Fox says, whatever happened to the man who had a conversation with Superman? Well, he was an editor, Julius Schwartz. He was a DC editor that edited Superman, and he was in New York. He was getting a cab, and Superman got in the cab with him, and they had a talk. This is a true story. He swears to God it's true. What does that mean? Well, I think it could have been a tulpa, which could have been a thought form that enters our universe and can assume many different guises, powered by the human mind, by imagination, by desire. There's lots of different reasons for a tulpa to manifest. But I wonder if UFOs and cryptids like Bigfoot and Nessie are all a form of tulpa, things that the mind actually conjures into being briefly before they vanish from this realm. I don't know. Hail the gods, says you are the best. Thank you. Hail the gods. Ranik Eisenkral, have you tried mead yet or just bourbon? Well, I've tried lots of things, but I don't believe I've ever had mead. 566 viewers. Well, that's a pretty good viewership for this time. But folks, I'm just glad y'all are here. How many viewers are here? Just the right number. And just the right bunch of usual suspects. You guys are awesome. Cheers. I'm drinking. Nessie's real. I wish Nessie was real. Bonzo Kilborn. I no longer believe in Nessie. I think it's dead, Jim. I think it's not real. Cheers. But that Superman thing actually happened. It's true. Julius Schwartz is not a nut. He was the editor for the longest time at DC. So it makes sense if Superman was going to appear to someone, it would have appeared to him. So I had a request to read Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll. And so I'm going to go ahead and give this a shot. I hope that you guys will enjoy it. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the borogroves, and the mome raths outgrabe. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the Jubjub bird, and shun the Frumerius Bandersnatch. He took his vorpal sword in hand. Long time the Manzome foe he sought. So rested he by the Tumtum tree, and stood a while in thought. And as in uffish thought he stood, the Jabberwock with eyes of flame came whiffling through the tulgey wood and burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through the vorpal blade went snicker snack. He left it dead, and with its head he went galumphing back. And hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish boy. O frabjous day, Callooh Calais, he chortled in his joy. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mome raths outgrabe. Boy, I started to sweat bullets halfway through that as I realized that my normal winging it was probably not going to work so well with words that are not actually words. So I actually had to read the thing carefully, but I hopefully I did okay. Cardboard Kenny says, just start reading Penthouse Forum letters. Boy, those Penthouse Forums were great, weren't they? Cardboard Kenny. They were forums for toxic males of all stripes, all races and creeds. All the males could get together and bond over their toxic sexuality. And man, it was like buying the world a Coke. It really was. Hail to the Penthouse forums. Thank you, Purple Lady. Jane Turner says, Doomcock, today in John Campy live stream, he said that Luke Skywalker is alive. Well, of course, because, these guys are shills, they're hacks, they're scum, and they are just toying with us, and they're going to I bet you Han Solo's alive too. He just has a big old, hole in him. It's just a flesh wound, kid. Yeah. And then old Leia will, have some detached footage, and they'll cut in that shot of her hugging Rey and paste Han in there. And then they'll reverse the shot and paste her in with Luke, and they'll all be together. Right. And it's all good, right? No, it's not. No, it's not good. I don't give a shit what you're going to show us about Luke is alive or Han is alive with a hole in him, or Carrie Fisher's not alive at all, but Leia somehow is, because you blew it, sir. You have failed. Jar Jar Abrams, you have failed. You had the chance while they were all together in that last brief window of fucking time to go ahead and put them all together, give the fans what they wanted, and instead you killed Han. And you didn't show Luke until the final moments of the movie, even though in previous cuts he'd been in the first act. That's true. So you screwed up, Jar Jar. You suck. You have failed. You have failed utterly. And nothing is going to make up for that. Nothing. So screw you. Screw your bullshit, too little, too late fan service. Stick it right up your Jar Jar ass, you hack. And that's what I think about that. Thank you, Half Moon. You are welcome, my friend. The Big Joe with a $4.99 super chat. Hail the Big Joe, says, Hail Doomcock. As your minister of unseen horrors, I have finished inspecting the horrors, and I can report that they remain unseen. Excellent, the Big Joe. Excellent. As long as they also remain horrific. There are two things that I expect from my unseen horrors. One, that they are horrors, and two, that they are unseen. That they are both unseen and horrors. It seems that you have fulfilled your remit, the Big Joe. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Hail to the Big Joe, my legionnaire and friend, my minister of unseen horrors. The unseen horrors are proceeding as planned. Thank you, the Big Joe. Josiah Clinch with a $5 super chat. Hail Josiah Clinch. Oh, he wants me to put my helmet on.
Doomcock, do you like pumpkin pie? Have some. Fire, darlings, and chat. P4 pies in DC and Harvey Cthulhu's facility, ES. Use the Force, bionic belly button. Boy, that was a tough one to decipher. I don't know what the hell. Wow. Fine, fire, darlings, and fire, darlings. Fire. Are you threatening me? Shut up, butt munch. And P4 pies in DC and Harvey Cthulhu's faces. Oh, pumpkin pies in Doomcock and Harvey Cthulhu's faces or facility. I don't know what the hell. Dude, Josiah, you stumped me. But thank you, my friend, with a $5 super chat for popping in. Some nobody with a $5 super chat, who I think is somebody. You're nobody till somebody loves you. With a $5 super chat, thank you, my friend, says, meant to mention this before. Dan and Dave's story has changed too much, too quickly. Seems someone asked them to throw themselves under the bus. Not sure why just yet. You're not sure why? Did you not see Game of Thrones Season 8? That's why. At last, the dragons have come home to roost, and Dan and Dave are going to have to pay for being in such a goddamn hurry to get done with Game of Thrones and get started with their Star Wars contract. That Star Wars contract has gone because when you screw up Game of Thrones Season 8, you're supposed to do something about it. Doesn't matter if you were a fan with Season 8 of Game of Thrones, you're supposed to do something about it. If you don't, it's bad. Bad for fans everywhere. Bad for networks. Bad for corporations. When you've got guys screwing up everything, it sucks. Thank you, some nobody. RR with $1.99 super chat who says, release the Doom Squirrel to make Halloween havoc.
Oh, all right. Sabu is out. Sabu is running around, hither and yon. He's there and gone. He's Sabu not on the spot. Down, Sabu, down, 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 down. Good Sabu. Good Doom Squirrel. He is released, RR. Now Halloween is that much scarier. Hail RR, and thank you, my friend, for being here on this Halloween. Stalin Falcon. Hail Stalin Falcon with a $5 super chat. My Legionnaire Stalin Falcon, who says, hail Overlord. Personally, I wonder how many girls are dressing as Harvey. I wonder how many Harveys are dressing as girls.
I resent that. I don't dress up like girls, dude.
I think that Harriet, your supposed sister, is you in drag.
I know you think this, but you think wrong, dude.
I've never seen you together.
Well, you've heard me together.
Yes, I've heard you two together, but I'm always live streaming. And, you're on the speaker here. So you're like, several levels down, and I can't see a damn thing down there.
Well, I'm just telling you, man, she's real. She's real, and she's here, and she's it's Gloria Allred. Make sure that everybody stays in line.
I think that you are just dressing up as Harriet to get some of that sweet pound me too action, dude. I think that's what you're.
Some of that pound me too wampum.
That's right, and the publicity and the social media, support and everything. I think you're an imposter.
Well, you wouldn't think that. Can I take this, Harvey? Absolutely, Harriet. Harriet, folks. Here's Harriet. It's not me. It's Harriet. That's right, Harvey. And let me tell you something. You know what? You're a toxic male, Doomcock.
Oh, am I, Harriet?
That's right. You really are. Because see, you're conflating Harvey with me. I mean, you're basically saying, Doomcock,
so-called.
That's right. So-called Doomcock. You're saying that I'm depending on a man. That I'm not even real to you. That basically Harvey is me. So what are you saying? That I'm not a person? That just because I'm a woman, that I can't be my own person? That I have to rely on Harvey, who dresses up in drag as me?
That's what I'm saying.
You're scum. And let me tell you something. You know what, Doomcock?
What?
Pound me too. Pound me too. I've been insulted. I've been slighted by the patriarchy. You're saying that I am really a man when I am a woman. WOMAN. Let me tell you something, Pally. You're going to be hearing from Gloria Allred soon. You understand? Soon. Pound me too. Pound me too. And you too, Harvey. What did I do, Harriet? Oh, you facilitated this, Harvey. No, I didn't. You aren't just a standby. You are an accomplice, dude. Why am I an accomplice? Because underneath that green exterior with the tentacles, I sense a white male, a privileged white male. I'm not a white male. I'm green. No, you're not, dude. Beneath that green, that's makeup. It's not makeup. Yes, it's makeup. Oh, well, then why can't I wear makeup, huh, Harriet? Huh? Is it makeup only for women? Huh? Let me tell you something, Harvey. When you wear green makeup, you're culturally appropriating from women. Is that so? That's so. Well, what about transgender males? Don't try to stick the LGBTQ on me. Let's stick to the subject, Harvey. Oh, maybe I turn the table on you, Harriet. Bigot. I'm calling. Who's the what's his name? Johnny Cochran. If the shit fits, you must have quit. That's what I'm gonna do, Harriet. Huh? You get Gloria, I'll get Johnny, and I'll see you in court. Well, I'll see you in court, motherfucker. Well, I sure will see you in court, bitch.
Wow. Well, that spiraled out of control rapidly. I don't know what. Wow. I think we have multiple lawsuits now. Multiple lawsuits. Poor Harvey. Although I suspect it's just Harvey talking to himself in drag. I wonder if he puts the hat on and then takes the hat off and puts the hat on and then takes the hat off. I don't know. It makes me very tired. Oh, but he ran rings around her logically. That was a good point. I mean, it's like, what's wrong with wearing makeup if you're a man? Huh? Is that exclusively for women? Hey? Well, I think it's all Harvey. I think it's just Harvey making up stuff, pretending. I think he's full of crap. I think he's just dressing up in drag to extort profits and do lawsuits and try to accuse people of pound me tooing him or her or whatever. I think he just likes wampum. I think he's a dirty little con artist. That's what I think. Johnny Cochran is dead, Harvey, says Lori Roberts.
Oh, God damn it. I'm going to get Clarence Darrow.
Dead.
Perry Mason?
Fictional.
Well, I guess I'll just go with my normal law firm then. Rabinowitz, Schwartz, and Yog Sothoth.
Well, that'll cover all the bases. All the bases. Thank you. Hey, JPRPH1, welcome. Daniel, DB, 631, Akigo Rogers, Larry, good to see you guys. Thank you for showing up. Cheers, folks. Cheers. And by the way, tonight, on the U.S. edition of the Halloween Friday Night Frolics Thursday edition, I'm going to have a celebrity trick-or-treaters coming by once again. And it was a big hit last year on Halloween. And I guess that they're probably going to swing by and stop by again.
In other words, you're doing the same shtick.
Yes, I'm doing the same shtick. It was very funny. It's a perennial classic. I think every year we're going to have trick-or-treaters showing up. Celebrity trick-or-treaters. Probably Shatner is going to show up. I'm just saying. I can't promise it, but I think that Shatner is going to show up. Captain Kirk. Or a reasonable facsimile thereof. Probably also Columbo, but we'll see. We'll see. Brian Christgau with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Brian. Says What the Moon Brings by HPL is 3 pages. Is it? Well, shit. Let me pop this in and see if I can. It's a prose poem. More poetry? Well, let's see. What the Moon Brings. All right, I will go ahead and read this. Now, the moon, those of you who are fans of Exozone and have listened to me before, I am absolutely fascinated by the moon. I love it. And so I'm pleased to present for Cardboard Kenny and for the rest of you folks, What the Moon Brings. And bear in mind, I'm reading this cold and have never read it before. So, fingers crossed. I hate the moon. I am afraid of it. For when it shines on certain scenes familiar and loved, it sometimes makes them unfamiliar and hideous. It was in the spectral summer when the moon shone down on the old garden where I wandered. The spectral summer of narcotic flowers in humid seas of foliage that bring wild and many-colored dreams. And as I walked by the shallow crystal stream, I saw unwanted ripples tipped with yellow light, as if those placid waters were drawn on in restless currents to strange oceans that are not in the world. Silent and sparkling, bright and baleful, those moon-cursed waters hurried I knew not whither, whilst from the embowered banks white lotus blossoms fluttered one by one in the opiate night wind and dropped despairingly into the stream, swirling away horribly under the arched, carven bridge, and staring back with the sinister resignation of calm, dead faces. And as I ran along the shore, crushing sleeping flowers with heedless feet, and maddened ever by the fear of unknown things and the lure of the dead faces, I saw that the garden had no end under that moon, for whereby days the walls were, there stretched now only new vistas of trees and paths, flowers and shrubs, stone idols and pagodas, and bendings of the yellow-litten stream past grassy banks and under grotesque bridges of marble. And the lips of the dead lotus faces whispered sadly and bade me follow, nor did I cease my steps till the stream became a river and joined amidst marshes of swaying reeds and beaches of gleaming sand, the shore of a vast and nameless sea. And upon that sea the hateful moon shone, and over its unvocal waves weird perfumes brooded. And as I saw therein the lotus faces vanish, I longed for nets that I might capture them and learn from them the secrets which the moon had brought down upon the night. But when the moon went over to the west, and the still tide ebbed from the sullen shore, I saw in that light old spires that the waves almost uncovered, and white columns gay with festoons of green seaweed. And knowing that to this sunken place all the dead had come, I trembled and did not wish again to speak with the lotus faces. Yet when I saw far out in the sea a black condor descend from the sky to seek rest on a vast reef, I would fain have questioned him and asked him of those whom I had known when they were alive. This I would have asked him had he not been so far away. But he was very far, and could not be seen at all when he drew nigh that gigantic reef. So I watched the tide go out under that sinking moon, and saw gleaming the spires, the towers, and the roofs of that dead, dripping city. And as I watched, my nostrils tried to close against the perfume-conquering stench of the world's dead, for truly in this unplaced and forgotten spot had all the flesh of the churchyards gathered, for puffy sea worms to gnaw and glut upon. Over those horrors the evil moon now hung very low, but the puffy worms of the sea need no moon to feed by. And as I watched the ripples that told of the writhing of worms underneath, I felt a new chill from afar, out whither the corridor had flown, as if my flesh had caught a horror before my eyes had seen it. Nor had my flesh trembled without cause, for when I raised my eyes, I saw that the waters had ebbed very low, showing much of the vast reef whose rim I had seen before. And when I saw that this reef was but the black basalt crown of a shocking icon, whose innostrous forehead now shone in the dim moonlight, and whose vile hooves must paw the hellish ooze miles below, I shrieked and shrieked lest the hidden face rise above the waters, and lest the hidden eyes look after me, after the slinking away of that leering and treacherous yellow moon. And to escape this relentless thing, I plunged gladly and unhesitatingly into the stinking shallows, where amidst weedy walls and sunken streets, fat sea worms feast upon the world's dead. H.P. Lovecraft. Thank you for that suggestion, my friend. I was very, very happy to have read it for you. Brian Kreisgau, thank you. Sir Ruin of House Roundhead with a $5 super chat. Hail Sir Ruin, who says, I'm going to the Ravens Patriot game this Sunday. I have a feeling I will have a better night than you watching Watchmen and Batwoman. Sorry to say. Son of a... Yes, you will. You will, Sir Ruin of House Roundhead. You will indeed. Oh, you beautiful universe, you great big beautiful universe, says James Caserta. Thank you, my friend. Fat sea worms, nah. Those are the shrieking eels, says Daniel DB631. You're probably right. Clayton George says the Rise of Skywalker should end with Han and Leia firing the new nanny for telling their child awful bedtime stories, which makes their entire trilogy bad fiction in canon. Very good. I like that ending. Oh yes, Gunslinger 65. Cold-hearted orb that rules the night, removing colors from our sight. Red is gray and yellow white, but we decide which is right and which is illusion. Na, 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 yes, nights in white satin, never reaching the end. Letters I've written, never meaning to send. Good one, Gunslinger 65. One of my Xanadu mirrors. Good to see you, my friend, as always. Man. Dressing up as Michigan J. Frog, says Larry. You mean, hello, my baby, hello, my honey, hello, my ragtime gal, send me a kiss by wire, baby, my heart's on fire, if you refuse me, honey, you'll lose me, and you'll be left alone, oh, baby, telephone, and tell me I'm your own. Thank you, Michigan J. Frog. Have fun at your Ravens Patriot game while I'm suffering, Sir Ruin of House Roundhead, one of my Legionnaires and friends, although he's rubbing it in on this Halloween. Loquacious Primate with a $20 super chat. Hail, Loquacious Primate, and thank you, my friend. Says, as Minister of Fundamental Ontology, I declare that beyond the logical mind lies the psychic. With both blissful and horrific manifestations as consciousness expands beyond the body, but not all the way to emptiness or non-duality. Yes, this is very true. However, eventually, all things will merge back to non-duality, or the void, as the Buddhists call it, because no matter where you go, there you are. Buckaroo Banzai's most profound utterance, no matter where you go, there you are. There's nowhere you can escape. You know, you are that. Thou art that. Tat vam asi, as the Vedantists say. Thank you, Loquacious Primate, my Minister of Fundamental Ontology, a Legionnaire of Doomcock. And when you become a Legionnaire of Doomcock, joining the Legion of Doomcock, you will receive an autographed photo of me with a personal message written on the back. You will receive a certificate with your name and the ministry that you run. In this case, Loquacious Primate has selected Minister of Fundamental Ontology, but you can select any ministry you want as long as it is not already taken. And you also receive a metallic finished membership card. So it's a very cool thing. Patreon.com/Doomcock. Why don't you come and join us? We do Discord gatherings. There's hours and hours, tens of hours, dozens of hours of exclusive content only there, full-length movie commentaries and so on. It's super cool. And we get together in Discord a number of times a month and hang out and have round tables and private parties where we just go and do karaoke and goof around and have fun. Thank you, Loquacious Primate, for that. Hecate's daughter, another of my Legionnaires, and the house mother, the den mother of the Doomcock darlings, says, the city in the sea or the valley of unrest, Poe. Thank you, Hecate's daughter, for the $1.99 super chat. And I will consider those. Perhaps I will do one of those this evening. Thank you, my dear. Sir Ruin of House Roundhead, hail Sir Ruin, with a $2 super chat. Also adding, just for clarity, I'm a Ravens fan, so not the Patriots. Good. To hell with the damn Patriots. I hate the Patriots. Fucking Tom Brady. I know he's great, but I hate him. I can't help it. And I hate fucking Uncle Charlie too, the coach. I call him Uncle Charlie, like on My Three Sons, because he looks like fucking Uncle Charlie. Hail Sir Ruin of House Roundhead. And thank you for that clarification. Digi Akuma with a $5 super chat. Hail Digi Akuma, who says, by the way, I forgot to say this as I entered in the first place, but hail to you, Doomcock, and you too, Harvey. Cheers. Drinks his pumpkin spice coffee. Hail Digi Akuma. And you're quite welcome, my friend. I'm glad that you are enjoying pumpkin spice coffee on this Halloween. I hope you're having fun, and I appreciate you being here. With or without a Hail Doomcock or Harvey. Thank you, brother. Always good to see you. Southeastern Kaiju with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Southeastern Kaiju. It says, love, death, and robots. Fish Night. Seen it? Hail. No, I've not. Fish Night. Fish night, roly-poly, fish night, eat them up, death. Something like that. I've not seen it. I'm sorry. I've not seen it. Love, Death, and Robots. I think isn't that a Netflix series? Southeastern Kaiju. I think it might be, but I have not seen it. Chris Persia says, filth, filth. Just got power back. Could Doomcock repeat the last 30 minutes? I'm so sorry, Chris Persia. Well, it'll be posted. It'll be posted. Don't worry. But I'm sorry that power outage turned you into Bill Cosby. Let the filth, filth, jello pudding pops. Yeah, boy, Chris Persia. Don't take any drinks from Chris Persia or pills from Chris Persia, at least for the next hour. Give him a chance to have the Cosby wear off, and there we go. Yes, Netflix. That's what I was thinking, Mary Ashmead. I've not seen it yet. I've not had a chance, but I will check it out. Atomic Half-Lives Matter says, tell the horrid tale of Abrenstein, horrifying tale of grave-robbing film parts sewn together in a haphazard manner to create unholy monsters and abominations affronting all that is good and right. Yes. Abramstein. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Damen und Herren, Mesdames and Messieurs, from what was once an inarticulate mass of lifeless tissues, may I now present a cultured, sophisticated man about town. Hit it. Da, 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 da. If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where Harlem sits? Different types who wear a day coat, pants with stripes, or cutaway coat, perfect fits. That's where each and every Lulu Belle goes. Da, 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 da. Every Thursday evening with her swell bows. Rubbing elbows, come let's mix, where Rockefellers walk with sticks or umbrellas in their midst. Young Frankenstein. What a great movie. Hail Gil Yash. Hail Doomcock. Hail for considering us at the Eastern Hemisphere. You're welcome, Gil. Proud to do it. Happy to do it. Would like to do it more. I got to find another way. I got to find a way to live stream with you guys in the afternoons. Maybe we'll start doing it on, Thursdays for a few hours or something. That might be kind of cool. Hey, Stellar Heather. Hello. Welcome. Yeah, I love that stuff. I like the original version of Putting on the Ritz, though. Let's see if I can... Let's see. What's a particular? It's like most of them are the old ones. Yeah, let's see. Have you seen the well-to-do up and down Park Avenue on that famous thoroughfare with their noses in the air, high hats and arrow collars, white spats and lots of dollars, spending every dime for a wonderful time? Yeah, no, that's not that. Goddamn, that's the, what is the original one? Damn it! It's so annoying. Show me the original lyrics. Damn it. Yeah, that's it. Have you seen the well-to-do up on Lenox Avenue on that famous thoroughfare, white with their noses in the air, white spats and $15, spending every dime for a wonderful time? If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where Harlem sits? Putting on the Ritz. Gang-spangled gowns upon a bevy of highbrows from down the levee, all misfits. Putting on the Ritz. That's where each and every Lulu Belle goes. Every Thursday evening with a swell bows, rubbing elbows, come with me and we'll attend their jubilee and see them spend their last 2 bits. Putting on the Ritz. All righty. That's the original, damn it. So weird. It's so weird that there's 2 different versions, but there you go. Rob Volk with a €2 super chat. Hail Rob, who says, thank you, Doomcock. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween to you, Rob Volk. Good to have you here, sir. Fat Zombie. Fat Zombie. Fwa, fwa, fwa. He's a zombie that should lose some weight. He don't look great. With a £2 super chat. Hail Fat Zombie, who says, just saying hi from the UK. Look out, UK. There's a fat zombie walking through your land. He's looking pretty hungry. Does he want snakes and snails and puppy dog tails or sugar and spice and everything nice? I don't know, but stay out of his way. Stay out of the way of the fat zombie. Thank you, Fat Zombie. And I'm glad. Thank you. Hail to the UK. I'm glad you're here. RR with a $1.99 super chat. Thank you, RR again. He says, DVD, can you put Jar Jar in with Harvey? I would love to. But I'd have to have like a cask of a Monty Jar Jar. You know, I'd have to basically usher him in and say, oh, Jar Jar, would you mind stepping into this containment field? Oh, I'd be happy to. I'm a great director. I know, Jar Jar. Well, here you go. What's that green thing in there? You'll see. You'll see soon enough. Oh, you'll see. I wish I could. I haven't found a way to do it, but if I do, believe me, I'll tape it. And I'll put it on YouTube. Okay, I'll put it on YouTube. Thank you, RR. Wes Killingsworth. Hello, Wes, with a $2 super chat. Hail, Wes, who says, hail, my friends, and happy Halloween. Hail, Wes Killingsworth, and thank you, my friend, for being here, my legionnaire, Wes Killingsworth. Hecate's daughter with a $1.99. Thank you, Hecate's daughter. And she says, Oolaloom by Poe takes place in Lonesome October. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Oolaloom. Oolaloom. Let me see how long it is. I'll see if I can. Oh, it's quite long. It's quite long, Hecate's daughter. Perhaps I will do it this evening. Also, it looks very complicated to read cold. So I don't think I can do Oolaloom right now. But perhaps in the future, Hecate's daughter. Thank you, however, for being here. And I hope that I've made this October just that much less lonesome for all of you guys. I don't know. I wonder if there's a song that I can do for you guys. How about a little bit of a Shine on Harvest Moon while we're here? Would y'all like that? Do that live for you guys. I do this in the voice of Leon Redbone. I love Leon Redbone, and I got to hear him in one of his last concerts before he passed, singing this song. And he sang it so sweetly and so softly that the entire theater was silent and just straining to hear. You could have heard literally a pin drop. And it was just a magical thing. And so I like to recreate it for you guys who weren't there, in tribute to Leon Redbone, who I really love. I really love Leon Redbone so much. So here we go. It's, Harvest Moon, Halloweeny, I guess, a little Halloweeny. I wish that there was a way I could sing The Ghost of Anne Boleyn. With her head tucked underneath her arm, she walks the bloody tower. With her head tucked underneath her arm at the midnight hour. But unfortunately, it's 1934, so still copyright, sadly. Bunker Housing, what is your email? Can we email you poem? Yes. As long as you want me to read it, and it would be at dictorvandoomcock@gmail.com. Sing Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus. It's scary. Yes, it is. All right. Here's a little bit of Leon Redbone for you guys. The night was mighty dark, so you could hardly see, for the moon refused to shine. Couples sitting underneath the willow tree, for love they pined. Little May was so afraid of darkness, so she said, I guess I'll go. Boy began to sigh, looked up at the sky, and told the moon his little tale of woe. Oh, shine on, harvest moon, up in the sky. I ain't had no loving since January, February, June, or July. It's no time, ain't no time to stay indoors a spoon. So shine on, harvest moon, for me and my gal. For me and my gal. What a great, great song. 'Cause that's when the zombies started crawling out of their graves all around, gnashing at their teeth and getting close to us without a sound. Little May was so afraid and couldn't run, so I threw her to them all. I began to run, heard her yelling none, and then I heard her little body fall. That's Harvey's thing. Let's move on. Thank you guys. I love Leon Redbone. I love Leon Redbone so much. He was so awesome. Geeky Candy, hello. Thank you. I'm glad that you are here. Hello, Agent Pepsi One. Agent Pepsi One. So there we go. Captain Spire with a $5 super chat. Hail, Captain. He says, getting ready for my third Halloween gathering here in my town. I'm getting into my Men in Black costume, heating up the cider, cocoa, and coffee. Here's to 70K. Thank you, Captain Spire. Yes, I would be closer to 70K if they hadn't taken 500 subscribers away from me the other day, but why quibble? I'm bitter. I'm salty. I'm bitter and salty. I'm bitter and salty for three reasons. A, they took away, about 500 of my subs. That's one. Two, I'm a little salty that my brother had said that we were going to go to Game 7 of the World Series if the Astros won, And sure enough, they did. But then he saw how expensive the tickets were, and he punked out. So there you go. And C, the Astros lost, which actually negates B. So I'm really only salty about two things. I'm really glad I didn't go because that would have sucked. Cheers, folks. Cheers. Let's have a drink, shall we? All right. Damn, I should have brought more. Oh, well. I'll drink some more tonight. Thank you, Captain Spire. Franz Jasper with a 20 it's Brazilian currency. 20 Brazilian dollars, I'll just say. Thank you very much, Franz Jasper. My first time I think I've seen you here, sir. And he says, "Hail, my Lord and Harvey. Give a shout to one of your legionnaires all the way from Brazil." Brazil. Our hearts were entertained in June. We stood beneath an amber moon and whispered softly, "Someday soon." I love Brazil. I love the movie Brazil. I love you, Franz Jasper. Although I don't know what your Legionnaire name is. Hail, Franz Jasper, and thank you so much for the generous super chat. And speaking of Legionnaires and generosity and bewitchiness, it is Abby Olace is back with another $50 super chat. Abby Olace, you are too kind, my dear. Thank you. Thank you, Abby. And she says, "Just because. Blessed be, my Lord. Blessed be to you, Abby Olace. I wish that there was something I could do special for you. So if you have a request, let me know. Let me know." Chris Persia says, "Mayhaps those missing subs will return. Gary lost 600, then got them back 24 hours later. Perhaps it's a matter of waiting. As I'm so tired of waiting for subs." Well, I don't know. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So I don't know what to tell you. Stellar Heather has a brother. Is he a semi-super villain? No, I call him my brother, but he's just my friend. I call him my brother though. So we're close friends. Sentient Dildo says, "I was one of those 500 DC. Good. So it's only $4.99 now because you certainly resubbed. I hope you did anyway. Aluvrian Imikara says, "Check your mail. I shared a couple of interesting ghost stories with you." Oh, thank you very much, Aluvrian Imikara. That's wonderful. Good material for later tonight. That's wonderful. Let's see. Blue Box Revan with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Blue Box Revan, who says, "Never has there been a more sophisticated supervillain in all of time and space. Hail Doomcock! Stay angry and charming, my friend." Thank you, Blue Box Revan. I appreciate that. High compliment, high praise. Greatly appreciated, my friend. Thank you, Blue Box Revan. Wow, more sophisticated. I like that. I'm deeply flattered by that. I'm a little flabbergasted. Sophistication. Wow. Even as I do goofy sound effects, I love it. Even goofy sound effects cannot dim my level of sophistication. I am proud. I am deeply proud and gratified. Thank you, my friend. Josiah Clinch with a $2 super chat. Hail, Josiah says, "Harv got pie. He stole your candy. 3 bags. P4H. Pie for Harvey." Thank you, Josiah Clinch. Abby Ole says, "My Lord, I only ask that you be well." I'm trying, Abby Ole. I'm trying so hard, but you're making it easier. Thank you for your support. I appreciate that greatly, greatly, greatly indeed. Sencha Dildo says, "Frack them. I was also censored because my name is offensive." Pfft, I know. What's wrong with a sentient dildo? Wasn't there like a Steely Dan song? Sentient dildo, shake it. So fine, so young. Tell me I'm the only one. Sentient dildo. There you go. I was working in the lab late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. From the when my monster from his slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise, he did the cock. He did the Dick Doomcock. The Dick Doomcock. It doesn't quite work. But thank you, Stellar Heather. I'm glad you enjoy the goofy sound effects. Hail, Dr. Meatball. Agent Pepsi 1-1, will your followers get it right? Most sophisticated. You're quite right. I'm not one of the most. I'm the most sophisticated. Agent Pepsi 1. That's right. I need to go ahead and be using my upper class English accent. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Well, I went, me and the boys at the club were very, very posh, you see. Very posh and proper. Oh, the posh life, the traveling life for me. Hail to you all. I'm going to be insufferably upper class for the rest of this live stream. I'm going to be adopting my English explorer voice. Yes, it's rather stuffy. Yes, we're mounting an expedition down to the Amazon, you see. We're going to the Amazon basin. We're going to deal with the indigenes over there, and we're going to try and appropriate some resources. I'm hoping to discover something else to bring to the Queen. Cheerio, pip pip, and all that. Have I mentioned that I'm an Anglophile? I tell you what you guys should watch or think about watching tonight. Maybe some Sapphire and Steel. How many of you guys in the UK have seen Sapphire and Steel? It's an amazing, amazing show. Joanna Lumley and David McCallum, they are weird elemental agents doing strange things in a kind of dreamlike world. There's no other show like it. It's really quite astonishing, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Doctor's Orders says, "Hail, my lord, for the message has arrived. Who is to direct the new trilogy now? Where is our lord now, Disney?" I don't know. I haven't heard anything. I've been basically working on putting this show together. And Sapphire and Steel, David Coleman. Exactly. Yes, I've got the box set too. Sola Num Tinker. Exactly. It's a good show. It really is. It's weird. It started out as a kiddie show, and then all of a sudden the creators got a hold of Joanna Lumley and David McCallum and learned that they wanted to be in it. So then it like morphed into something different. Tippy Tail McKitty. I'm part English and Scottish as well. That's amazing. Joanna Lumley, the first female doctor, Mira J says, boy, she would she would have been fantastic. Oh. Yes, Claudia Acosta. Yes, Blackadder. What, Lord Melchett? Oh, I hear you're rich. The Queen needs a little bit of a help, boy. Would you be so kind? Lord Melchett, I hate you. I love Blackadder. Fernando Caballero. Tonight's perfect for the Headless Horseman song. I don't know the Headless Horseman song. Damn. I don't know that. Ernie, the fastest milkman in the West. Says Suliju. Well, I remember the first episode of Filthy Rich and Cat Flap where Eddie kept killing Richie Rich kept killing milkman after milkman, and finally they had like 6 dead milkmen by the end of the episode. I thought that was genius. I absolutely love that. Money Meta, thoughts on the new Targaryen prequel announced for Game of Thrones? Don't care. Game of Thrones is dead to me now. I'll probably review it just to review it, but yeah. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Of course, maybe if D&D are not working on it, maybe. But if they are, it's fucking dead to me. Those guys, I'll never trust them again. Never trust them again. RN Feliciano says, hail, Overlord DVD. I nearly ran off the road. I laughed so hard at Harriet and Harvey. Well, I'm glad you're alive. Dave Bob says, I ain't got nobody. Yeah, he's got nobody. Poor Dave Bob. He's non-corporeal. Non-corporeal. Red Monarch with $1 super chat. Hail Red Monarch. Red Monarch? Where's Basil? Basil? Red Monarch? Bionic Belly Button? I know Bionic Belly Button had to depart. She has her kids in school and she's being like a den mother or something. I don't know, but so that's where she is. Basil, I guess, will probably join us later on in the evening. Where's Darth Poop Snake? Asks Agent Pepsi One. On your ranch, your story about the cow letting out the 1.5 foot poop was the origin of Darth Poop Snake. I said, well, obviously Agent Pepsi One stumbled upon them shooting the reshoots for episode 9. Of course, what else could it be? So there you go. And yeah, Darth Poop Snake. You are going to see Darth Poop Snake shortly. I'm working on Darth Poop Snake, and Darth Poop Snake is going to become a regular character on my on my videos. So watch this space, folks. Watch this space. 09A Team says, how long will this go? We'll probably knock off in about 30 minutes or so. I will. Oh, Rhett, the grandson, says hi. Hello, Rhett. Hello, Rhett, and welcome to Happy Halloween, brother. Young man, say hi to Dave Bob for me. Give Dave Bob a hug for me, will you, Rhett? I can't give Dave Bob a hug. Would you give Dave Bob a hug? I would appreciate that. All right, so how long will it go? Probably, I don't know, another 30 minutes or so, and then we will adjourn, and we will reconvene at 7 o'clock for a Halloween live stream part 2. The US edition. So I'm just really delighted that you guys could make this. Nathan Norman says Blake 7. Yes. Red Dwarf, Space 1999, UFO, and the Quatermass Experiment are epic British homegrown sci-fi shows. Yes, they are. And I love them all. I love them all for different reasons. UFO, right? Na 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 na. And of course, Blake 7. Bum 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 da na 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 na. Bum 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 na 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 na. Bum 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 bum. Dum 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 da dum 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 da da dum da 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 bum 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 da na 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 na. I love Blake 7. Can you tell? Can you tell that I do? Adjit Adonis Manilal says, just recently found your channel and subbed. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you, Adjit. I'm glad you found my channel, and I appreciate you being here. Welcome to my channel. Great to have you here. Let's see. Tippy Tail McKitty says, my real last name is Austrian, German Catholic. If you saw it, you'd love it. Oh, I bet I would. Stellar Heather says, what is happening, LOL? Maybe you don't know Blake 7, Stellar Heather, or UFO, in which case you would be very, very confused. But both of those shows are absolutely fantastic. Orak forever. Yes. Yes. I like Zen. Intruders approaching. Intruders approaching. They will intercept our position in 16 time units. Put the false wall up. Ramo Grey Wolf, can I eat the censor button? Go for it. Go for it. Eat that censor button, by God. Hail Lothar D. Hail Nomadistar. And Agent Pepsi 1, UFO is amazing. Yes, yes, it is. I love UFO. Kill Straker, exactly. Shadow. I love how Shadow was underneath the film base. God, I love that show. That was so good. You remember the one that was censored in the US that they didn't air originally in the first run when Straker was constantly shooting up with basically speed, because they had frozen time and the speed was the only thing that was keeping him aware and awake and able to fight the UFOs. Wasn't that fantastic? God, that was great. This is Space Intruder Detector. UFOs on positive track. UFOs on positive track. Let's scramble the interceptors. Dum, 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 da da dum, da 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 da. Yeah, it was fantastic. Ed Straker, played by Ed Bishop. Yes, indeed. Ah, God, I love it. Hail, Ken Jack Ben. Welcome, my friend. Happy Halloween to you, sir. Stryker was the voice of Captain Scarlet. I did not know that. Michael Strelitz. That's very good. And Suliju says, things are bad when sci-fi 40 years ago is better than today's. Yeah, you are quite right. UFO Time Lash, says Agent Pepsi 1. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And Dark Shadows, yes. Dark Shadows. Now that's a great show. I've got all of them in a box set shaped like a coffin. I was very happy to get it. It's got Jonathan oh my God. I was going to say Jonathan Frakes, and I'm locked on Jonathan Frakes. Jonathan Frid, his autograph is fantastic. Agent Pepsi 1, oh my God, with a $5 super chat. I am so sorry, Agent Pepsi 1. Says, been really sick. My boss hates me for missing work, but I will be damned if I miss the Lord Doomcock with the tiny H show. Hail, Darth Poop Snake. Hey, I'm Darth Poop Snake. Hello. I'm strong on the dark side of the Force. I'm Darth Poop Snake. I just kind of lie around and I'm kind of brown and I've got a brown lightsaber. I'm Darth Poop Snake. Hello. Wow, Darth Poop Snake is a bit laconic. I'm a little concerned about Darth Poop Snake. Psycho Dwarf 9 with a $5 super chat. Hail, Psycho Dwarf 9, who says, made pressure cooker stew for the gaming group. They're licking the pot. Well, tell them to stop it. They're supposed to smoke it. How are they going to be able to smoke it if they lick it? That's absurd. Psycho Dwarf 9, stop them from licking the pot. That's just rude. That just ruins it. Loquacious Primate says, Apocalypse Now was on TV last night and I got sucked in. The horror. Yes, absolutely. That's a masterpiece. I love that movie. Never get off the boat. Absolutely goddamn right. N says, wonder if Kirk will insist on stopping by for Snickers this year, sire. I have a feeling that that stuff is going to make an appearance on tonight's Halloween U.S. edition. I think Captain Kirk may be coming by, and that classic shtick may be repeated tonight. Just so you know, N. Just so you know. Pretend like it's fresh, will you? Agent Pepsi 1. Goy, brown lightsaber. Brown lightsaber. Yes, it's coming. He's got a brown lightsaber. Darth Poop Snake. Well, what do you expect? Could be black. Be a black lightsaber, but brown. Sometimes ochre. Sometimes I have an ochre lightsaber. It varies. I'm not giving my name to a machine. Says, I missed everything so far. Are you doing more Poe this year? I did. I've done a number of Poe. I did The Raven. I did I did some Lovecraft. That's right. I did some Lovecraft. So yeah. So there you go. Is there anything? Oh, Cardinal Sin. Hello, Cardinal Sin. Says, hail and happy Halloween, Doomcock and the chat. Thank you, Cardinal Sin, for that $2 super chat. And I think maybe we will wrap this up with a story that Cardinal Sin wrote. Yes, a story that Cardinal Sin wrote. And it is called Satan's Dog. So I will do, I don't know. I hope it's not I don't know if it's too long to read. Although it's a lot of dialogue, so it might not be too long. We'll see how it goes. Let me see if I can read it here. Satan's Dog by Cardinal Sin. It was a fine day for sport, and it was on this day that I met up with Satan's Dog. I've been seeing him around for years, actually. This was our fourth time in a fortnight that we'd been at a meeting of the ways. But as happy as I was to see him, I was a bit bewildered as to why he would show up at a football match. Sheffield United, I think it should be more upper class. I think it should be upper class because he says, oh boy. So I'm going to do it more upper class. It was a fine day for sport, and it was on this day that I met up with Satan's Dog. I'd been seeing him around for years, actually. This was the fourth time in a fortnight that we'd had a meeting of the ways, but as happy as I was to see him, I was a bit bewildered as to why he would show up at a football match. Sheffield United was leading Manchester City by 2 goals. Satan's Dog trotted up, panting slightly and wagging his tail. He was a normal Scott Terrier, except for his ability to speak, the fiery red glow that surrounded him, and sometimes grew quite fierce when he became angry, and the odd supernatural power. He sat down next to me and shook his coat. Hey there, Joe, Satan's Dog said merrily. How's it going? Fine, fine. Odd seeing you here, old boy, I replied, pulling out my bag of crisps. I had no idea you were a sportsman. Unfolding the half-empty bag, I pulled out a few crisps and threw him one which he deftly caught in his mouth with a short jump. Oh, yes, quite, Satan's Dog said, chewing. I like a good game now and then. I even go out for the odd cricket match ever so often, he said, finishing his crisp and gulping it down. When master lets me, of course. He sat up and wagged his tail, begging for another crisp. I ate a few myself and threw him another one, keeping my eyes on the match. Manchester City was now in possession of the ball. Sheffield United was having a hard time keeping it. How is the old boy these days? I asked, popping the last of the crisps into my mouth. Oh, he's all burned up about the ethical humanism thing again. Says belief in him has been waning since the 60s. I shoved the crumpled crisps wrapper into my jacket pocket and picked up my glass of Watney's. You would think he'd be quite pleased with the New Age movement and all the rekindled interest in the supernatural lately, I said, taking another drink. I wiped off the foam on my sleeve and engaged in a group roar as City scored another goal. They now trailed by 2-1. That's just it, the little Scott Terrier said with a doggy frown. They're all into this pagan nonsense nowadays, druidism, getting back to nature and all that. There just isn't that much devil worship going on. Witchcraft is down. And even among the New Agers, there's little action. They barely even acknowledge the horned god. I could see Satan's Dog was getting pretty fired up about the topic, for his coat faintly glowed with hellfire. I wasn't worried. A few people could see him anyway. He paused to scratch and then turned back to watch the game. I bent down with my cup to offer him a quaff. Care for a beer? I asked, setting it down next to the dog. He sniffed it and took a gulp, ducking his stout in it. Ack! He exclaimed, knocking the cup over with his nose. Red Barrel? Satan's Dog pawed at his mouth with both front paws and spit about, making quite a dramatic display of nothing, I thought. I don't know how you can drink that stuff, he said, sticking his ample tongue out. Tastes horrible. He laid down on the pitch and began to eat some grass. I looked at him with my arms crossed. Look, matey, you didn't have to go spilling the whole lot of it, though. The terrier simply looked at me between chews and said, Well, Joe, you didn't want to go drinking that after a dog had been in it, did you? There was a moment's pause, and then we both burst into spasms of uncontrollable laughter. After we calmed down, Satan's Dog sat up and said, Well, that's what you'll get for drinking Red Barrel. Do you a favor, if you ask me. He was actually quite fond of beer, as most dogs are, but I suppose he considered himself a bit of an aficionado. The dog generally preferred a good stout, but then again, who doesn't? I turned to my canine friend with a questioning eye. What are your plans for after the match? I pulled out a fiver. Care to swing around the pub? The terrier shook his head. Afraid not. Much as I'd like to, I'm invited to the palace for tea. I threw up my hands. You're having tea with Her Majesty again? That's got to be the third time in a month, matey. I think the Queen is sweet on you. Satan's Dog rolled his eyes and scratched again. She just thinks I'm cute, that's all. Right, I said, giving the old wink-wink, nudge-nudge, say no more. He stood up on all fours and prepared to leave, first walking over to a nearby wall and lifting a leg. Tell you what, though, he said, doing his business. You finish your game here, and I'll meet you at the pub for a few cold ones later. I agreed. All right. Oh, by the way, bring me one or two of those scones she always says, will you? They're delicious. Satan's dog gave me a nod and trotted off to have his tea with the Queen. As it happened, she was the only living member of the royal family that could see the dog. She did enjoy his company, and he always had a standing invitation at Buckingham whenever he was up. Of course, he had no trouble getting past the beef-eaters. Hell, that dog could walk right off with as much of the crown jewels as he could carry in his mouth, and no one would be any the wiser. I pulled out a Dunhill, lit up, and watched the rest of the match. It was indeed a fine afternoon's football. City ended up creaming Sheffield United 5-2, which was rather expected, but a pleasant match nonetheless. I saw an old friend of mine on the way out, Stan Willingham, and we agreed to meet at the pub later. I knew he would like Satan's dog. I just hoped he'd be able to see him. He ought to be the type, I thought. An imaginative guy, Stan, not so totally absorbed in the fabric of reality he couldn't see Satan's dog hiding in amongst the folds. As they cleared the pitch, we had a couple of smokes and cracked bad jokes about the Prime Minister. Parting ways about 6, we agreed to meet at the pub, around 8. As I opened the door to the house, I could smell that the wife had dinner on for 6:30, and it was chops tonight. "Hello, love," I yelled into the kitchen, hanging up my cap and jacket. "Evening, dear," she replied, banging around pots and pans. "Your dinner will be on in a few." "All right," I said, walking in. She had biscuits in the oven, too, I could see, and gravy and a pan for the mashed potatoes. Gave her a big hug, and with my arms around her, planted her a wet kiss on the mouth. "Judith," I said, looking her straight in the eye, "you're an angel on earth, if ever there was one." "Don't I know it?" she replied, kissing me back and then pushing me off. "Now get out, or I'll scold you," she said, grabbing a pan and waving it menacingly. All right, I'm going," I said, scooting out of the kitchen at her command. As I grabbed the paper off the hall table, she called for me to have a look at the loo. That damn plumber hadn't been in to fix it yet. "What, just before supper, love?" I implored. She just stuck her head around the corner into the hall and said, "Oh, go on, read your paper then." And so I did. And after a fine meal and a look at the loo, which was still beyond my ken, I donned my hat and coat and with a nod to the wife was out the door to the pub. And it was just around the way. I dispensed with the car and hoofed it. I was there in a few minutes and the sun was just setting over the horizon when I opened the door to Max's green taxi. All the boys were there. I was surprised to see Satan's dog had already arrived. He had somehow finagled someone that could see him into buying him one and was working on the harder-to-reach bottom of the pint as I approached him. Now, there's something you don't see every day. I started a dog sitting on a bar stool, drinking a beer. The terrier simply looked up at me, licked his whiskers, and said, "Something you should see a lot more of, if you ask me." He paused for a second, then added, "Course I couldn't be talking if I were you, mate. You were the one that was quaffing a Watney's this afternoon." I smiled and pulled out a fiver. "Quite right you are, Max," I said, turning to the portly owner at the bar. "I'll have a pint, please." Max nodded, and I looked on as he drew me a glass of beer. I passed him the fiver, which he brought it over. Max shot me an amused look and said, "Joe, this is your first one of the evening, and you're already talking to yourself. Am I going to have to worry about you tonight?" Max knew that Satan's dog was more than a running joke we all brought up when someone discovered that his once full beer had been drained. Funny how no one ever seemed to notice the glasses of Watney's Red Barrel always managed to remain unmolested to the end of their natural lifespans, and he wonders why I drink this stuff. That dog's not as smart as he seems, considering he can talk. He is up on most blokes, though. Now, we are at the halfway point, my friends. I don't know, are you enjoying the story? Are you having fun? Shall I continue, or should I move on to some chat and conclude it at some other time? I'd like to see, it's a long, so we're about halfway through. I don't want to tax anyone's patience, so are you enjoying this or are you not? Say yes if you would like me to continue, or no if you would like me to move on to something else. No criticism whatsoever to Cardinal Sin, however, it's a bit long. Heiress of Chaos says yes, yes, yes. Ooh. Yes, I'm enjoying this. It's fun. Yes. All right. We're going to go on then. Thank you. Let me continue here. I'm going to take a little bit of a drink, however. All right, here we go. Cheers, folks. I'm going to take a drink and then resume our little tale. By Cardinal Sin, our very own Cardinal Sin. Yes, the writer is in the house. Very well. I shall resume. Max shot me an amused look and said, Joe, this is your first one of the evening and you're already talking to yourself. Am I going to have to worry about you tonight? I just smiled at Max sheepishly and said, no, Max, I think tonight I'll take it easy on you. Just a few. Max nodded again and handed me the change from my fiver. Well, see that you do, he chided, smiling. I'll not be picking you up off the floor again. At that, the lads gave a group laugh, and even Satan's dog choked on his drink. They were referring, of course, to my performance in last week's darts match, played as usual by Max's house rules. All players, except the thrower, must take a drink for every shot he hits. When the thrower misses his shot, he has to drink twice. Makes for a pretty lousy darts game, but it sells a fair lot of drinks, and we all have a good time. I had almost forgotten it was dart night at Max's. Count me out for the first few, lads, I said, taking a quaff from my glass. Satan's dog sat up on his stool and looked at me. Not playing tonight? Nah, I said, setting the glass down on the bar. Can't afford it. He cocked his head in curiosity in the way that only dogs can. Surely the boys would spot you. I shook my head. That's not what I mean. Last week I came home late. The wife waited up for me, and she was none too pleased, I can tell you that. Bought me a new blowhole, she did. My ears are still ringing. Satan's dog finished his glass and hopped off the stool. Ah, yes, wives. Master is always saying that they were among his finer creations. I mused. Were they his? Well, of course. Wives, not women. Yes, I suppose that must have been... Oh, I don't know, really. They're all right. I stopped and thought hard for a minute. The little terrier looked up at me quizzically from the floor and said, Face it, Joe, you've got one foot in the grave. I picked up my ale from the bar and replied, Right you are, sonny, right about that. 1 foot in the grave and the other in heaven's door. And with that I tossed back what remained of my beer, set the glass down, towed the line, and as per Max's house rules, proceeded to throw 3 successive bullseyes. The boys all groaned and started drinking. Satan's dog said, That's all the luck you'll get from me tonight. I got to take a leak. He trotted out the door. Stan waltzed in well after 9, spotting me right away. We walked over and raised a hand, pulling out his billfold for beer. Hello there, Joe. Sorry I'm late. Got held up on the home front. Mind if I sit down? He said, preparing to sit down on the very stool occupied by Satan's dog, who, to my dismay, he obviously couldn't see. Sure, Stan, I said, rising, but let's grab a table. I led us over to an empty spot near the bar, away from the activity of the darts match. Stan pulled a chair out, and we had a seat as Satan's dog jumped up onto the 3rd chair. Max raised his head and called out from the bar, What'll it be, Stanny? A Guinness for me, please, Max. Stan finished a fiver out from his wallet and put it out on the table. I knew as soon as Max brought the glass that Stan's evening was off to a good start, for my terrier friend eyed his stout greedily and licked his chops in anticipation. Oh, stop it, I said, chiding Satan's dog while Max brought Stan's charge. Stan looked at me in dignity. Bugger off, mate. I haven't even had one yet, he said. No, not you, I replied with a sigh. Max smiled and said in Stan's ear, At least he's not playing any more darts tonight. Stan laughed, handed Max a quid tip, took an initial sip, the foam still heading. Nothing like the first taste of a brew in the evening, eh, Joe? You got that right, brother, said the Scott Terrier to Stan's left. I simply raised my glass in a silent toast. There was more to conceal my smile than anything. Stan got up from his chair and gave the tug on his shirt. Cool, not been here 5 minutes. I've already got to visit the can. Satan's dog eyed Stan's glass again and remarked, Pity. Stan scooted his chair under the table and said, Be back. With that, the Scot jumped right up on the table and was soon drinking right out of the poor man's glass. I knew there was nothing for it, but I shot my friend a disapproving look all same. What? Queried the dog with a hurt look, pulling his snout up out of the tall glass. That's what a man gets for leaving a fine Guinness stout unattended like this, he explained, returning to the beer. I laughed, taking a drink of my own newly replenished beverage. Soon, Stan returned from the loo, and Satan's dog jumped back down to the empty chair. It didn't take Stan long, of course, to see that most of his glass was gone since he'd left. I say, mate, that's a dirty stunt you pulled, he said, holding his pillaged glass. And while I was evacuating me bladder, too. Stan shook his head and the terrier licked his whiskers. I smiled. It weren't me, mate. I've got a perfectly good red barrel going here. Stan frowned. If you call a Watney's perfectly good, perfectly waste of time, if you ask me. Stan punctuated his remark by taking a swig of what was left of his stout. Satan's dog nodded. Man's got taste, he stated quite matter-of-factly. I couldn't help but laugh. Stan looked at me and held up his glass. Well then, Joe, if it weren't you, who was it what filled my brew right over the glass, right in front of God and everybody? Without missing a beat, I said, why, it was Satan's dog, of course, Stan. As soon as my words left my lips, everyone burst out laughing, even Max, or rather, especially Max, who had been keeping a keen eye on us for just such an occurrence. Stan flushed, smiled, and then stood up finally to accept the rousing chorus of applause that bombarded him from the room. As far as he was concerned, he'd been set up and royally had. Those few of us that could see Satan's dog knew better, of course, but weren't about to say anything. I just clapped and eyed my friend with a smile. The dog jumped off of the chair and looked at me. Just as a dog is man's best friend, a dog's best friend is a good stout beer. And that, mate, is all she wrote. With that, Satan's dog headed for the door, no doubt to make use of some convenient fire hydrant. In the meantime, Max brought over a fresh refill for Stan, and a dozen coins hit the general vicinity of the tip jar. Max took a bow and resumed his duties at the bar. After a time, things returned to normal, or at least as normal as they ever get in Max's green taxi, and by now both Stan and the Scott Terrier were getting a pretty serious drunk on. Not at all unusual for either of them, but I could sense an odd combination coming on. Stan was slowly becoming able to see Satan's dog. I first knew when Stan began doing double takes in the dog's general direction. At one point of the evening, Stan looked at me, then at his glass, then at Satan's dog, then back at me, finally, back at the glass. A look of bewilderment crossed his face. I keep looking at this chair over here, George, he said honestly, unaware of whether it was the beer or his eyes that were playing tricks on him. And I keep saying this weird, he shook his head for a second. Well, glow. I keep saying this glow, and it's just on the chair, not anywhere else. I've had a few, if you know what I mean. Stan just sat there, looking right at my friend, the Scott Terrier, and him looking right back. I, for one, was pretty confused. I mean, people could usually either see Satan's dog, or they couldn't. Now it appeared that in light of his drunken state, Stan's rusty imagination was getting a little much-needed exercise, which allowed him to perceive the glowing hound sitting next to him. Finally, after about half an hour of Stan looking around with paranoia, he leaned over. Look out, buddy. We've been mates a long time, so level with me. Stan looked around once more and whispered, is that a flaming dog sitting right there? I looked around suspiciously. First left, then right, and when I was sure that no one else was looking, I looked Stan right in the eye and said, Stan, meet Satan's dog. Stan groggily turned his gaze from my face to the chair at which the dog was seated. He then nearly jumped out of his chair. Stan was definitely seeing him now, fully. Satan's dog stood up, leaning one front paw on the table and offered the other to Stan. Shike, he said. Stan took the paw before he caught the dog's joke, then chuckled half in disbelief. He was chuckling at a joke told by a dog. The Scot shook his hand zealously, saying, Pleased to make your acquaintance, sir, and might I add, I do admire your taste in beer. Stan was so astonished and drunk that he somehow strangely believed what he was seeing and hearing. Oh, yes, quite, Stan replied. He put one hand to his head, and with the other pushed his 6th or 7th pint of Guinness away. Why, just one bloody minute, he said, with a sudden clarity of thought. You can't be serious. He ended up pointing a finger at Satan's dog drunkenly. I'm totally serious, the dog shot back, wagging his tail and licking Stan's face in a most undignified manner. Somehow Stan must have seen the humor in it, for he looked at me and then abruptly fell off his chair, howling with laughter. Satan's dog sat back down in his chair, thought better of it, and bounded up onto the table to spontaneously finish off the rest of Stan's glass by tipping it over and lipping up the spillage. When Stan had composed himself enough to rise back up to table level, he took one look at the spectacle and fell back down on the floor in a new fit of laughter. He laughed so hard it brought tears to his eyes, and that's how my friend Stan met Satan's dog. The terrier looked down at Stan rolling on the floor and returned to his seat. I think I like this bloke, he said, licking his whiskers. After Stan had regained a semblance of normalcy, he sat up and said to the dog, You've got to be one of the most smartest people I've ever met for a dog. The Scott Terrier nodded and said, "Look, boys, I'm sure. Look, Joe, why don't you pay your tabs and let's get out of here? I have some friends I want you to meet." And so with that, we paid our tabs, left Max the biggest tip of the evening, and left the green taxi for destinations unknown. We'd follow that dog to the gates of hell if there was a laugh in it for us. The end. Nice job, Cardinal Sin. Thank you for that story. I appreciate that, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it. A nice little tale from one of our very own, one of our own usual suspects. We've got Basil, the Pumping Seagull, with 2 super chats, a $5 and a $2 Canadian super chat. Thank you, Basil, the Pumping Seagull, who says, "Basil may be lateth, but never feareth. Basil is heareth. Ghost dare not show up here because this seagull will punch them to fluffy bits." Hail Basil, the Pumping Seagull, bullying ghosts on the beach. Thank you, Basil. Basil also says, "Did all hear crisps squawk?" Yes, you did, Basil. Yes, you did indeed. Hail Basil for both of those super chats. Thank you for making it here. I hope I will see you on the second part of this later tonight. Thank you, my friend. Kenny Zelinka with a $5 super chat. So this is a spoiler, folks, if you haven't seen Terminator Dark Fate. Although this has been rumored and rumored and rumored and rumored and rumored and rumored and rumored to death. So close your ears for the next minute if you don't want to hear this. Spoiler alert. Kenny Zelinka asks, "Hey, Doomcock, what are your thoughts, spoiler alert, on John Connor's death in Terminator Dark Fate?" I think it's crap. I think it completely ruins the other Terminator movies, and it's bullshit, and I hate it, and it just stinks. That's my thoughts. It completely invalidates everything that came before. It's garbage. So if the majority of the fans basically reject that, it will no longer be canon. Even though James Cameron was behind it by my 5th law of canon, or 4th law. No, I think it's my 5th. The fans can unanimously reject a revision by a creator, or near unanimity. We'll never have unanimous, but I mean the vast majority of fans will reject certain things. It's invalid. Just like Greedo did not shoot first. That's stupid. So we reject that, and it is no longer considered canon as far as the vast majority of the fans are concerned, because, these things are not merely intellectual property. They have become, modern myths, part of our culture, and therefore we have a voice in what they are. Thank you very much, Kenny Zelinka, for that. And the DCV Titan with a $5 Canadian super chat. Hail, DCV Titan says, "Think this is scary? You should read some real horror. Find the Star Wars Rise of Skywalker prequel comics." Ooh. Well, that just sounds horrible, dude. That sounds absolutely horrible. Arg, farg, bagarg. Chris Persia says, "How could Cameron put his name to this installment that undoes his first 2 movies? Wampum." That's what I says. Wampum. Basil with a $2 Canadian super chat says, "Red Monarch? Red Dwarf? Hail Basil the Pumpin' Seagull." He's pumped, and he's hostile, and he flies and drinks crisps. Well, folks, yeah, Han shot first. Absolutely. No question about it. Well, I think that this pretty much wraps up our first half of our Doomcock Halloween. But we are going to reconvene at 7:00 Central, which I guess actually would be midnight in the UK. So I hope that you guys will join us then. I hope that you guys had a lot of fun. This stream wasn't on my sub list. Dang it, says Chuk Nutsack. I'm so sorry. Yes, Daniel DB631. Han didn't shoot first. He just shot. Exactly, sir. Nicholas Horton with the £2 super chat. Thank you, Nicholas. Says, "Hail DC. Happy Halloween to you and to Harvey." Happy Halloween, Nicholas Horton. Happy Halloween to all of you guys here. JPRPH1 says, I've been trying to send a super chat. The whole broadcast doesn't work. See you tonight, Overlord DVD. I'm so sorry, brother. Damn it. Well, I hope that I will see you tonight, and thank you for trying. Thank you, Hecate's daughter. I will look forward to seeing you tonight. Aluvrian Imikara says, I will be late tonight. I have an appointment at 7 Central. Well, thank you, Aluvrian Imikara. Hail, Purple Lady, Spike in Madness, Ken Jack Ben, Theorist 6, Dave Bob, Clan Razor. Well, I heard Dave Bob, he says 1 a.m. Well, I heard that they're on a different time now, so it's only 5 hours difference now. But I could be wrong. I mean, that's what I heard in the chat, so I don't know. Demon's Reflection says, James Cameron says Genesis was a sequel to T2 fans had been waiting for. His endorsement is worthless now. Yes, it is. Sometimes these creators go senile or whatever and lose track of their own creations. I don't know, but I think it's a goddamn shame. Hail, Eris of Chaos! Says, happy Halloween, my dear UK people, fellow darlings chat, and my dear Overlord. I will return tonight. Wonderful. Glad to hear that, my dear. Nomadistar says, this has been awesome. Thank you, Overlord DVD and everyone. A real privilege. You are, oh, Dayhawk 666. I missed one. It scrolled by. I see it now. Dayhawk 666 with $1.99 super chat. So sorry, Dayhawk. Dayhawk 666. And he says, did you see a Kame yet? Love you, Doomcock. Harvey.
Nah. Why, thanks, dude. Don't love you either. 666, even though you come on all sexy and wonderful with a 666, which is designed to appeal to evil like me, but screw you. I see through you. I see the good within you. You can't fool me, dude.
Hail, Dayox 666. No, I've not seen a Kame yet. I've just not had the time. I've been so busy, dude. But it is on the list. It is in the pile. It will happen, Dayhawk 666. Trust me, it will definitely happen. Well, this has been fun, you guys. I'm glad that I was able to spend this time with you. I hope you had fun with all the reading and the goofery and the silliness. And I hope that you guys will tune in later this evening. I think we're going to have some fun, and we're going to have some trick-or-treaters as well, just so you know. All right. From the center of the earth. This is, we've got one more here from Mikey Bomer. Hello, Mikey Bomer. Welcome. He says, just join your Patreon to say thanks for the hours, nay days of great content. Wow. Thank you, Mikey Bomer. Thank you for that $5 Australian super chat. We've got another Australian Legionnaire. Hail, mate. Cheers, matey. Thank you for being here, Mikey Bomer. And it's great to have you. We've got another Legionnaire, folks. Yay! I'm delighted. Nomadistar, thank you. Says you rock, Doomcock. Thank you, Nomadistar. Fourth roar down, says the world will hear of us again. Chili Peen, hail the women of Halloween. Absolutely. The women of Halloween. I wish I had a little song I could sing for you guys, but I think we don't have a lot of Halloween songs, you know? We just don't have a lot of Halloween songs, unfortunately. It's sad. But I just want to say we'll have more silliness tonight. And I thank you all for being here. Clan Razor, good to see you. United World of Doomcock, absolutely. Spike in Madness, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed my Raven, Spike in Madness. Thank you. Even with the goddamn lawnmower going outside the damn walls. They use this massive one too. It's gigantic. It's really annoying. You're welcome, Nomadistar. Thank you, Michael Strelitz. Nicholas Horton, thank you. Dayhawk 666. I will look forward to seeing you again. I want to say thank you to Stone Loki. I want to say thank you to Mary Ashmead and Chris Persia, to Purple Lady, to Basil, to all of my Legionnaires, Villains, Vagabonds, Rogues, Xanadumirs, Dominions, and Dumentites. Have a happy Halloween, and I will see you later tonight from the center of the earth. This is Dictor Van Doomcock saying to you all, stay angry and have a nice Halloween.